caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here,
are we muted?
Giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations. With 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future, T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
August on Cape Cod means playoff baseball. We're at Gov Fuller Field here today. Last night, Hyannis takes home a commanding 12-6 win. 3 runs in the top of the 9th for Falmouth, but a comeback come well short. We are here at Gov Fuller Field for Game 2 tonight. Should Hyannis win? Well, they'll be going to their second division final in as many years. It's been some turnaround for Hyannis, and it looks to continue here tonight. So happy to have you with us here from Gov Fuller Field. Whoa, this is looking a little different. Alongside Josh Schreiber and Nico Sharp, usually our producers. My name is Michael Kersing. The producers have jumped in front of the camera and on the call for us tonight. They've worked so hard all season long that we said, let's throw them on a game. And hey, what could possibly go wrong, right? Well, Nico, Josh, welcome along. Welcome to the broadcast. What a game last night it was for Hyannis, a statement win at home against Falmouth at McKeon Park.
Yeah, no question. You mentioned it. I mean, just a great win, a great statement win. It just felt comfortable. It just felt like we took the lead early, and we just felt like we controlled the game as the game went on. And that worked from both the offensive side of the point as well, and then going back into pitching. You know, great start there by Darren Horn, ate up some innings. Going into Case, it just felt like the team really put it all together and gave us a really confident win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on the offensive side of things, guys were just grinding out at bats, forcing Brendan Davis to really work. He walked a bunch of guys. Even when they did get out, a lot of times they were these long at-bats, long drawn-out at-bats, really just wore down Brendan Davis. And in a big spot like that, when you just can't get guys to swing and miss, it's so demoralizing for a pitcher. And, you know, the first 6 innings, Hyannis scored at least 1 run in every one of those innings. And when you do that, that's a great recipe for success.
It's against arguably the hottest team on the Cape as well, and one of the best pitchers in Braden Davis. And 2 of those guys that really were impressive last night in those at-bats. John Gazdar at the top of the order, and Eric Snow down.
Trying to watch our guys really put it together. And you spoke about it, John Gazdar, you know, in the 2-hole. Love watching the 2-hole. Has really good ABs, allows people later in the lineup to be able to see pitches and understand what this guy's trying to do to them. And it's just been really fun to watch. And the guy, Eric Snow, I mean, amazing night at the plate. You know, had a surprise visit from his dad right before the game. Such a cool story. And then to have the performance he did, you know, working walks, having great ABs, finding ways on, making solid contact. I mean, a great game by them both.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you know, just a cool story. But there were a lot of cool stories in that game between Snow's dad being there, Earhart's dad being there, a former member of the Hyannis Mets, and in that family, you know, their blood runs blue and orange. So really exciting to see them really get everything to click, because we were talking about how the Hawks are hot, the Hawks are hot, the Hawks are hot, and then at the very end of the season, there was a little bit of a question mark, like, okay, are they still hot? Are they starting to get into a little bit of a slump? Cam Smith was 1 for his last 10 at one point, and we were like, okay, like, what's really happening here? Cam Smith has a nice day yesterday. John Gazdar still on fire. The entire offense clicked. The pitching clicked. And David Case going as long as he did yesterday was huge to keep the bullpen well rested.
Yeah, you guys just talked about that off day that we just had before Game 1 yesterday. Yeah, it seemed like they needed that refresh mentally. They knew that they weren't playing up to par, but they come in against Falmouth, against Braden Davis with one of the best pitches on the Cape in that changeup. They come in and knock him out after 2 1/3. But David Case, the name you mentioned, I wanted to talk about him because that might have been last night, the 4 innings that he puts up in Darren Horn. That might be my performance of the season because it's scoreless ball. He lets up a run, but that run is not earned. Not only does that show up on the score sheet, but it saves arms as well here today. Hyannis can go in for the kill for that. David Case, one of the biggest performances, if not the biggest of the season.
Yeah, no doubt.
Nico, we were talking about it while he was pitching. Case only gave up 1 hit in his outing. It felt like at times he was struggling with location a little bit, but keep in mind, this is a Falmouth team that can rake. They can hit the ball all around the ballpark, but not only that, they work good at bats. And Case was struggling a little bit to just get some put-out pitches, but he did a great job bearing down, had some huge strikeouts, and there were a couple times where he basically, you know, we talk about in golf walking in your putt. He kind of walked in his strikeouts at times. It was just really impressive to watch.
Had 3 walks on the night, but as you mentioned, Josh, just the 1 hit. David Case locked in. Timely pitching was also the case with Darren Horn. Got 3 big ground balls, 2 of which ended in double plays. So now they come into Falmouth tonight. Gov Fuller Field, a place they have played twice in a week, 2 Mondays back-to-back. They have lost both of those games, but playing very good baseball in both of those games. They get walked off last Monday, coming into the bottom of the 9th with the lead, get the first 2 outs. That could be a demoralizing loss, but now they come back here looking to avenge those demons on the back of a big loss last night. What are you guys expecting to see out of this team tonight?
Yeah, I mean, really, Falmouth, at least on their end, they're coming in, they kind of have to have a feeling of having nothing to lose. You know, you get blown out in Game 1. A lot of people around the league may be thinking it's like, okay, Hyannis is hot. Falmouth, you know, they were on a nice little winning streak, but it's kind of coming to an end. No, they've got to use that as motivation, use that big loss last night as fuel. A much different lineup for Falmouth here tonight, as we're going to get into a little bit later, but they're looking for a little bit of a different mojo. They just beat Hyannis at Gov Fuller Field 2 times in a row, so they're going to be looking to kind of feed off that energy and, you know, keep their season alive here today.
Yeah, no doubt, you know, and again, yeah, like you mentioned, we just played them less than a week ago, and Hayden Frank took the mound for that game, so he's been here, he understands it, had a pretty solid outing, 3 innings, he gave up no earned runs, so he obviously likes pitching here, did well, but yeah, I'm expecting just high energy from Hyannis, and it's a scary team when your backs are against the wall. Like you said, when you have nothing to lose, that's a scary team because they know every single ball, every single pitch counts, and you know they're going to have that mindset coming to this game, especially after the game that the Hyannis put on to them last night.
And now for Hyannis, they have to come out with the mindset you'd think that they just scored 7 runs in the first 3 innings off of their Game 1 starter, Braden Davis, who you could argue is one of the best pitchers on the Cape. You'd think that that's their mentality coming in here tonight.
Yeah, you can expect their offense to be really aggressive. You know, we just swung the bat so confidently, you know, working good ABs, taking good pitches. I mean, some of the things that we saw them changing eye levels. The pitchers were working really well for Falmouth, but Hyannis has had such great ABs, really strung them together, and did it throughout the game, right? That's something we talked about when we were broadcasting games is we always seem to have one big crooked inning and then a couple zeros, and our bullpen would kind of save us. like you mentioned, we scored every inning up to going to that 7th inning, and it kept scoring. We were just manufacturing runs throughout the entire game, which is so important to winning these games.
Yeah, it really was. And they're going to have to do that again here tonight. Obviously, last night does not necessarily mean that you're going to do the same thing tonight.
Taking nothing for granted is the case here, as we will go to a short commercial break while we honor America here in Falmouth.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
From Gov Fuller Field, I'm Bria Lossick alongside Darren Horn from Coastal Carolina. Darren, you got the start yesterday, game 1 of the playoffs. What'd you feel when you heard that?
It was kind of an honor to be able to start for the Harbor Hawks in game 1 of the playoffs. You know, we got a bunch of good pitchers on this team, and to be able to get the call to start that game was really awesome.
You went 4 innings, really setting up the team for success for today, especially not having to use a ton of bullpen arms. What pitch was working for you on the mound?
Yeah, like going into the game, I just wanted to try to get in as many innings as I could, so I was just really trying to just pound the zone with my sinker, get ground balls, quick outs. Offense helped with that a little bit too, giving us 7 runs early on in the game, so it allowed me to even just throw more strikes and just try to get outs. So the offense helped with that too as well.
What do you think made your sinker so successful last night?
Yeah, and the pin it was really good. So going into the game, I knew I just needed to trust the movement on it, and trust that it would get outs.
This Falmouth offense has been very hot lately, especially Travis Bazzana, the Cape Cod Baseball League batting title champ. How did you go into that game attacking him?
Yeah, we just didn't want him to beat us. We walked him 3 times. We were okay with that. You know, we were just trying to limit his damage. We did a good job as a pitching staff. I think the only times he got on was those 3 walks. So to be able to limit him is the key, and then we shut down the rest of the offense pretty well as well.
Early on, you had 2 walks in the first inning and then really settled in and got your command going. What do you think was the key to that, just settling in?
Yeah, just going into the game, the little antsiness, little nervousness, just settled down after that. We were talking about before the game, the wind was blowing out, so that causes movement to be a little different, so be able to kind of figure that out was the key, I think, as well. The ball was moving a little bit more, so I had to throw the ball a little more up in the zone to get it to be in the bottom of the zone.
Well, now you got the day off. You know, the nerves are over. What's that day look like for you?
So I did some shoulder stuff today. Do light throwing and be prepared to pitch whenever that's next. I don't know if it'll be another start out of the bullpen whenever, but just to be ready for that.
Dan Johnson brought you a sandwich. Any idea what kind it is?
I'm going to guess Subway, ham, cheese, lettuce, tomato. That's my guess.
All right. Thank you so much, Darren.
Thank you for having me.
Back to you guys in the booth.
And there are the 2 magic words, play ball. We are just about underway here from Gov Fuller Field. And as Michael Barnett takes the hill for Falmouth, let's hear how Hyannis lines up tonight.
Zach Earhart will be leading off playing right field, followed up by John Gazdar at the shortstop. Cam Smith back in the 3-hole playing third base. Zach York in the DH spot hitting 4th. In the 5-hole will be Brandon Ike playing first. Right behind him will be Nick Mitchell in left field. Then after him will be the man, Eric Snow, who had a great day last night at second base. New man behind the plate, Brody Donay behind the plate playing catcher. And Will the Whale Taylor playing center.
Will the Whale. I love it. Who's going to do the whale calls? Josh Schreiber, the leader of the whale calls, is on the call tonight. We've got, there we go.
We got Mike Maynard.
We've got writer Mike Maynard on the case tonight for the whale calls. And as Falmouth is just about ready to take the field, that is the lineup Nico Sharp describes. That will be going up against Michael Barnett here tonight.
Yeah, Michael Barnett, a really young guy, just turned 19 in April, but having a nice season so far for Falmouth. 3-0 with a 4 flat ERA. 5 games started. That's 27 innings, 25 strikeouts, and just 8 walks. He will give up some hits. averaging about 6 hits given up per game, but really has only had 2 bad games when it comes to percent of the time in total.
Yeah, we've seen him a lot here on the Cape, used in a bit of a longer role. We've seen 5 innings out of him in his last 4 appearances, but he'd been used a bit sparingly at UCLA. He's been used in short relief. He's only seen 2 appearances at UCLA go longer than 4 innings. So this has been a bit of an experiment for the young kid, and he's passed with flying colors. That plays really, really well going back to LA in the spring.
Yeah, no doubt. He's eaten a lot of innings, but that speaks to him just going right after hitters. He really attacks hitters, gets ahead early, and that changeup is going to be something that I think we're going to see a lot against some of our lefties. He loves to throw that changeup to lefties, loves to throw it late in counts. When he's ahead in counts, that's when he's going to throw it. He throws it a few times when it's 1-1, maybe 0-0, but most of the times you're going to see it for a swinging strikeout when the count's 0-2, 1-2. So that's going to be something to watch out for this game.
Now, you mentioned the lefties. This is a credit that we're talking about the lineup structure. We've talked about it so much. They're switching at the bottom a little bit. Trey Lipsy out of the lineup tonight. He is a lefty. He has been put in on the bench. Will Taylor, the whale, back out in center field. So that's a matchup that baseball ops and the management has really gone over. They're playing matchup ball here in this series.
Yeah, and Will Taylor, a guy who has reverse splits, actually much better against righties, not lefties, does struggle against changeups. So he will not see any changeups most likely here against Michael Barnett. So it should be an interesting matchup for him. I do like the matchup much better than I would have yesterday against Brendan Davis.
Yeah, to be exact, Taylor hitting 288 against righties, and against lefties only 132. So that's what you talk about when you say reverse splits. Taylor is a right-handed batter, hits better against right-handed pitching. You normally don't see that. The norm is that if you're a righty, you hit better against those lefty batters. But Hyannis, very well aware. The ops department has done their work, done their research, and they are playing matchup ball here tonight. John Gazdar stands on deck as Zach Earhart just about to dig in and get things ready, as Michael Barnett is just about finished with his warm-up toss. It's going to be a real good one here tonight as Hyannis looks to clinch their Western Division final status for the second time in as many years, guys.
Yeah, and you mentioned John Gazdar there batting second today. John with another multi-hit game yesterday, went 3 for 6 with 2 RBIs, 1 run scored, and he has been on fire in the last 8 games. That's now 7 multi-hit games in his last 8. So,
and that's why, and John giving us some props right in front of us. As Zach Earhart digs into the righty batter's box, digs the chalk, he is ready. Barnett toes the slab out on the mound 60.5 feet away. He is ready. It's the Doors. It's the Hawks from Gov Fuller Field. As Barnett deals, it is live from Falmouth, Massachusetts on Cape Cod. First pitch time, 6:06 p.m. here on the East Coast as Zach Earhart takes the first pitch out the letters for strike 1. Barnett sets and deals the 0-1. It's on the ground to third, fielded by Darnell. High throw, but it was in plenty of time for McGregor to carry it, to get it back under his possession, leap, snare it, and tag Earhart out. Well, there's Darnell and McGregor. Let's talk about the rest of the Falmouth defense.
Yeah, Turley, Humphreys, Walsh from left to right in the outfield. Then Darnell, Clemens, Bazana, McGregor are the infield. And then it's Walker, Yannick, and Michael Barnett as the battery duo.
Saw a high throw from Darnell, but corralled well by McGregor for the first out, as John Gazdar takes the first pitch outside.
2 fastballs on 2 0-0 pitches so far. He does throw that fastball 60% of the time on the first pitch.
That's ripped right back up the middle, a base hit. Stay hot, John Gazdar. A 1-out single punched right back up the middle. And there is 1 on and 1 out now for Cam Smith. John Gazdar, keep on keeping on, kid.
Yeah, John's swinging the bat so well. And, I got to talk to him before the game yesterday about his approach a little bit. Such a simple approach. Just works on low line drives. He understands he's not trying to hit a home run, not trying to do too much. He loves hitting low line drives, finding it in the gaps.
Up steps Cam Smith with Gazdar off first. He is behind on the first pitch, swinging and tipping it into Yannick.
Make that 3 for 3 on first pitch fastballs.
Yep. Smith was 2 for 3 with a walk last night. He scored and also grounded out, but that ground out did produce a run batted in. So safe to say Cam Smith is back and kicking. The Pro Prospect Award winner on Cape Cod this season was presented with that award before last night's game. He's got Gazdar off first. Here's the 0-1. It's outside. Now 1-1 the count.
Yeah, it looked like a slider away that time. Just got away from Barnett a little bit.
It'll be a 1-1 to Smith. Just underway here from Gov Fuller Field. As there's another slider. It's low and away. Now 2-1 the count on Cam Smith.
Yeah, that's a tough take there by Cam Smith. Doubled back on that slider. That one a little more believable. Great take there, low and away by Cam Smith.
Earhart almost reached on the high throw from Sean Darnell, but he was able to corral it as the 2-1 fouled into the screen. Now 2-2. Falmouth finished the year this season at the bottom of the league in fielding percentage, almost on display right from the jump.
Yeah, I mean, nothing Earhart really could have done running down to first, as it was in plenty of time, but, you know, maybe those first inning jitters getting to them a little bit. We'll see if they settle down.
The 2-2, another good take on an off-speed below the knees, and the count runs full. There are your good at-bats from last night carrying into tonight.
Yeah, Cam Smith, pitch recognition showing well early. That's 3 off-speed pitches that he's been able to spit on and take really good active takes.
The payoff to Smith is on the ground to first and over the head of McGregor, and it's a fair ball. John Gazdar wasn't sure if it was fair or foul, but he eventually sees Eric Beatty waving him to third base. A high chopper. McGregor's really had to get his jumps in through these first 3 batters. That's a freak play, but regardless, John Gazdar moves to third. Doesn't matter how you get the hit. If you're Cam Smith, he's reaches first.
Yeah, that's a tough play by McGregor. McGregor holding him on, so obviously in front of the bag, and he had nowhere to go. The ball just goes right over his head. Really not much you can do there for McGregor.
And I think the confusion there was John thought it might have been fielded.
Yeah. The first pitch to Zach York is outside.
Tried to backdoor it there, just left a little arm side. It's a good take there by York, another off-speed pitch.
There's a big smile from Cam Smith on first. We'll tell you about why after this pitch, as it's taken in there for strike 1. We have a few Harbor Hawks Cam's Crew signs his family brought from when they were visiting. As writer Mike Maynard holding the sign up, Cam Smith acknowledges with a big smile off first. As here's the 1-1 to York. Spits on it low in the dirt, now 2-1.
One thing I do want to focus on in that last at-bat to Cam Smith, right before he hit that single, he did get a changeup thrown to him the pitch before it. That was just the 5th changeup Barnett has thrown to righties all season.
York spits on that, now 3-1 the count. Changeup's more likely to lefties such as York, and it was a good spit from Cam Smith on the change. Hitter's count here for York, a very professional hitter in the lefty batter's box. The 3-1 taken on the inside corner for strike 2. That loads the count. York, a very welcome addition to the team for the second half of the season, primarily first base and DH, hitting well above 300. Here's the payoff. It's on the ground. Bazana flips for 1, on to first. It's a double play. York doubled off, and that strands the runners. Gazdar will not score on the play as York grounds into a 4-6-3 double play to end the top of the first. Hawks get 2 hits, but can't scratch any runs across. We're through a half. Hyannis nothing, and the Falmouth Commodores coming to bat.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like
my inside voice?
Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Big double play turn by Michael Barnett off the bat of Zach York ends the top of the first. The bottom of the first will feature this Falmouth Commodores lineup.
Yeah, for the Commodores, they got Gavin Turley, the owner of the Turley Toss, leading off. This is his first time leading off against Hyannis this season, been hitting well. Then Travis Bazzana batting second, Yannick batting third, McGregor fourth, Walsh fifth, Heyman batting sixth, Humphreys, Clemens, and Darnell will round it out with 7, 8, 9.
And that is the lineup to face Hayden Frank. Frank appeared last Monday in the 6-5 loss here at Gov Fuller Field. Put in a really, really nice start. Didn't get the decision because he only went 3 innings, but he has been solid and consistent all season long.
Yeah, it's been a guy that they've really trusted to eat up a lot of innings. You know, he's done 30 in the third innings, been here for a while. A guy they really trust, you know, fastball and has that big breaker curveball, like almost a true 12-6. You know, we saw out of many teams they have a hard slider, but he truly has a big hook. So really looking forward to see if he can establish that early in the game today.
He's got Gavin Turley to face. The Turley toss, the aforementioned Turley toss, mentioned by Josh Schreiber. He loses his back quite often as the first pitch is taken upstairs.
Yeah, Turley threw the bat yesterday and kind of broke the magical streak when he struck out on the next pitch.
The 1-0, swing and a miss at some high cheddar there, 1-1.
But then his next at bat, actually, we played the replay of him throwing the bat, and coming out of the replay, he hit a 2-run double. So I don't know if maybe he has eyes on our broadcast, but
1-1 is fisted down the right field line, and it kicks down into the corner. It's a base hit, and it rolls out of play. Earhart immediately puts his hands up. That had so much topspin on it that it landed about on the foul line and kicked all the way out of play. As it's past the dugout and past the bullpens, it is completely open. Goes past a certain spot, and it's a dead ball. So immediately, as contact was made by the fans, play is ruled dead. So Turley leads off this game with a double.
And now if I'm Hayden Frank, that ball was hit 67 miles an hour off the bat, so you got to shake that one off onto the next hitter.
Let's go, Frank. Come on, baby.
A tough next hitter at that in Travis Bazzana. As Turley leads off second with his leadoff double. Square to bunt at a high curveball that gets tapped foul.
But yeah, that's such a frustrating one as a pitcher. He executed a good curveball there, caught him out front, just hits the cap of the bat, and just the spin gets it a double. That's one as a pitcher, you just know, like, you executed it well. You got the swing that you would hope that the hitter would give, and just unlucky.
So it'll be an 0-1 to Bazzana, the Cape Cod League batting champion this season. The 0-1 outside, now 2-0. Hit 375 on the season. Hyannis held Derek Bender, the leader going into the last day of the season, 2-0 for 4-0 for 5 day, which helped Bazzana on his way to the title. Also hit 345 with the Beavers of Oregon State. As here's the 1-1. Looping curveballs foul to the left side and out of play. Now 1-2 on Bazzana.
Yeah, Bazzana does have some history with Hayden Frank this season. 1 for 4 with a single. Both of those, or all 4 of those at bats coming in the last 2 weeks or so.
So it'll be a 1-2 to Bazzana, the Aussie, out of Sydney. As the 1-2 is just above at the letters, now 2-2.
Yeah, just off the plate. Hayden Frank kind of surprised him with a fastball there. Just misses off the plate. That's a good 1-2 pitch there from Frank.
See if he goes back low after changing the eye level. It'll be a 2-2 to the Beaver. Frank deals outside, and the count is full.
Went back to an off-speed there, just missed off the plate again, but and a great hitter as Bazzana. On his plate recognition is very good, and he understands right where the corner is, and he establishes that early.
Turley leads off second after a leadoff double, and here is Frank's payoff to Bazzana. Fastball misses low. Bazzana works a walk, and it is first and second. First 2 batters have reached for Falmouth, and that brings up Walker Yannick.
Just a beautiful at-bat there by Travis Bazzana, staying locked in, going down in the count early, but fighting back and not doing Hayden Frank any favors by swinging at his pitches just off the plate.
Yeah, Hayden Frank was just nibbling off the plate. It's very close, great takes. Bazzana seeing the ball really well, working 3 walks yesterday, and already in his first AB worked a walk here.
He also leads the team in stolen bases, perhaps the reason Turley's been moved up to lead off, as there's a strike at the top of the zone from Frank.
Well, first pitch, curveball right there by Hayden Frank. Walker Yannick 0 for 4 against Frank this season with 2 strikeouts and grounded into a double play once. Frank would not mind that right now.
Yeah. Runners on first and second here in the bottom of the first for Falmouth. Top of the zone again with the fastball. Brody Donay liked it, but home plate umpire John Budka did not. It's above the zone now, 1-1. Turley off second, Bazzana off first. The pitch fouled away. Now 1-2 the count on Yannick. Now this is where he was last at bat against Bazzana. This is what you have to do as a pitcher. I think you could attest, Nico Sharp, is just adapt and learn on the fly from your last at bats while having a short memory at the same time. It'll be a 1-2 to Yannick. Frank deals upstairs. Now 2-2 the count.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You want to get right after hitters, get ahead in counts, but you also need to be able to put them away here. And so far, Falmouth putting up some great ABs, not chasing anything outside the zone, as we saw with that high take right there. Looking to see if he tries to bend one here, bends it low, and see if they can stay off of it.
The 2-2 looping curveball fouled away. So good at bats put together so far by all 3 Commodores, and Turley, Bazzana, and Yannick. Obviously some scouting done on the Falmouth end as well. Hyannis doing their due diligence for sure, using that day against Bourne as a scouting day. As it'll be a 2-2 again. Frank deals. Up and away. Now 3-2.
Yeah, such a tough take too, especially there was a changeup there that missed arm side, but his fastball averages about 90 miles per hour, and then his curveball at 75 miles per hour. Huge difference there. Hard to stay back on that.
Payoff upstairs with the fastball, and now with that walk, Frank has the bases loaded and nobody out. And you may not be able to hear it, but that crowd is going to play a massive factor tonight. Keeping them out of this game by doing your own big thing is going to be something huge tonight that this Hyannis team must know. Gulf Fuller Field has been a fortress.
Yeah, and as expected, it is packed here so far, and we're just in the bottom of the first inning. You expect people to keep filling in as the game goes along.
So the first 3 batters of Hayden Frank's afternoon have reached. Tyler McGregor has the bases loaded and nobody out. Curveball in there at the top of the zone for strike 1. 50-50 pitch.
Yeah, get me over curveball there. You know, he has no problems getting ahead of these guys. He just needs to finish putting them away, you know, not dance around them too much.
The 0-1 to McGregor, lefty on lefty. There's a fly ball to left. Mitchell back. He will make the play. Tagging from third is Turley. All 3 runners tag up as Turley scores without a throw. The throw came into third. Bazzana reaches third. And Yannick all the way up to second. It's a sac fly for McGregor. It's a 1-0 Falmouth lead. An all-important first out for Hayden Frank, but now he's got second and third, 1 man out for Barry Walsh.
Yeah, and McGregor really does a nice job going the other way. We saw it. He had, I believe it was the game-tying hit the last time these 2 teams played here. Just a ground ball through the left side, scoring 2, but that time again showing a little bit of power, driving that one almost back to the warning track.
So 1 away now for Barry Walsh. Did not feature last night. He takes a hefty hack at the first pitch fastball, and a big hack through it now 0-1.
Yeah, it's going to be huge for Frank to keep them here. You know, he's looking good in his start so far. You know, obviously we've seen him get ahead, but we know he's on today. He just needs to keep him here and then find his stride throughout the game.
There's another swinging and missing at the fastball by Walsh. Quickly 0-2. Perhaps Falmouth doing their due diligence as they saw Frank last Monday. Mentioned the 3-inning start that he put in. 0-2 swing and a miss. Top of the zone with the fastball. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Barry Walsh. A big swinging strikeout. 3 swings and 3 misses for Barry Walsh. 2 away, a big strikeout there for Hayden Frank.
Yeah, now if you're Frank, you have an opportunity to get out of this relatively unscathed with runners on second and third now. If you can get out of this only giving up 1 run, that would be huge.
So 2 away for Heyman. Swing and a miss. That's 4 straight. That one on the changeup.
Yeah, Frank in that last day be fastball, fastball, fastball. He just kept moving up and up in the zone, and Walsh not able to get his barrel on top of it.
0-1 to Heyman. Swing and a miss again. That's getting the Hyannis contingent jazzed up. Now 0-2.
If I'm Frank here, I'm just climbing a little bit higher. What do you think, Sharp?
Yeah, no doubt. You mentioned change up first, and with a little high fastball there, I'm raising it up here even higher.
0-2. He went up, but just a little too high. Now 1-2 the count on Luke Heyman. Saw him enter the game last night for the injured Caleb Hall, and he slots into the designated hitter spot today. The 1-2 outside. Now 2-2 on Heyman. On Travis Bazzana, the run does score. It was Yannick that was in between second and third, and Bazzana scores. So Bazzana does his job to allow the run to score. It will be a 2-0 deficit Hyannis faces going into the top of the second.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Welcome back to Gov-Fuller Field. Falmouth has a 2-0 lead. It actually could have been a bit worse if Cam Smith had overthrown Brandon Ike over at first. That was a play that could have gone a multitude of different ways, but in the end, Cam Smith, after slipping behind third base, just decides to get Yannick between second and third at the expense of Bazzana scoring.
Yeah, it's a tough play by Cam Smith going down the line, but just a little bit of a rule information here. If he makes that play at first, because it is a force out, that run would not count at the plate. But because the play was not a force out and he did make the tag at third base, now that run does count. That is why it is 2-0 and instead of 1-0.
Yeah, it's the type of play where really you can go either way. You'd like to see him get the out at first, but nothing you can really blame him for.
First pitch inside to Brandon Ike. We've seen Cam play such good defense that you almost expect him to make that throw so deep from third, but he decided to eat that and allow the run to score just to get the play as the pitch to Ike is low. Hyannis allowed 2 to reach. Well, they had 2 reaching, and Gazdar and Smith could not scratch a run across in the top of the first. The 2-0 to Ike. There's a strike on the outside corner. Ike out of VCU has played third and first for Hyannis coming up later in the season. As the 2-1, did he go? No, he did not. Some approving cheers by the Hyannis crowd, now 3-1.
That's another tough take. You know, we're seeing it from both sides, you know, understanding pitch recognition and spitting on those off-speed pitches low.
The 3-1 upstairs, Ike works a leadoff walk.
Big walk there by Ike, setting the tone for the inning. Had a great day yesterday, going 2 for 4 with an RBI, starting his day off with a walk. And also, I do want to mention Ike, I guess, trying to wear every uniform in the books here for Hyannis. He's worn 11, 5, 23, 38 yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, who knows what he decides to do later on.
He's running the gamut. As here's the first pitch to Nick Mitchell. It's gotten by Nick Mitchell all the way past Yannick into the screen. That allows Ike to saunter down to second. Double play out of order. Runner in scoring position for Nick Mitchell.
Yeah, for a second I thought that hit Nick Mitchell, but I guess it did not. Mitchell got hit by 2 pitches yesterday. That time kind of leaning and just barely getting out of the way.
So runner on second is Ike. The 1-0 to Mitchell is a strike at the knees.
You can tell these Harbor Hawks are seeing the ball well, taking confident takes, confident swings as well. Exactly what you like to see.
The 1-1 to Mitchell. Did he go? No, he did not. 2-1 as Mitchell lays off on the low.
Yeah, such active takes. You know, we see like they're tracking the ball all the way through the plate. I just love, that's what we like to see. You know, it's not just lazy takes. You know, they're active takes, getting their timing in, and just staying off those low pitches.
2-1 is flown third base side out of play. Levels the count at 2 on Nick Mitchell. His father was in attendance last night. Assume he'll be here as well for game 2. We'll talk about the man on deck once he steps up. In Eric Snow. As here's the 2-2 to Mitchell, wrapped but just outside of first. And we'll do it again.
I love these aggressive swings by Nick Mitchell. Even his takes, you know, he's very active. They've had to check down to first. Well, actually, third for him as a lefty, but liking what I'm seeing from him and really the entire lineup early on.
They put up 2 hits in the first, and now Ike worked a walk here in the second. As the 2-2 to Mitchell was just about tipped. He checked his swing and still tipped it, and Yannick couldn't squeeze it, so he just about stays alive.
Yeah, interesting play there. Kind of a check swing. Like, I was kind of confused there. Mitchell barely went around. Somehow makes contact there and works a foul ball.
Stays alive for one more pitch. And here comes that pitch from Michael Barnett. The 2-2 is chopped foul again. And that gets the Hyannis contingent up and going. That's going to be important for them to be loud, as Falmouth's crowd is too.
Oh, and you know they will be.
Absolutely.
It's a combination of, you know, baseball ops, game day ops, photographers, you know, everything, broadcasters.
Yep. Mickey Doolittle and Jacob Irons here watching the game for us, our normal broadcasters. As here's the 2-2 to Mitchell. It's chopped weakly on the ground to second. Bazana charges. Glove flips to first. And he gets the out just about a half step ahead of Nick Mitchell. Good play from Travis Bazana to retire Mitchell as Ike moves up to third on the play.
Oh, go ahead, Nico.
That's a great play there by Bazana. They did not have time with the speedy Mitchell. Used the glove flip. Another great at-bat there for Mitchell. Working the count right there. Working hands, working pull side, understanding the situation that, you know, if he's not going to get his best swing off, he's going to pull it, allow that runner to advance to third.
First pitch to Eric Snow in there for strike 1. Player of the game last night. 2-run shot for him. 3 RBIs, 3 runs as well. Was a real snowstorm last night at McKeon Park. As the 0-1 is taken low. He walked and scored in the second. Just to start off with a little flurry. 2-run shot makes it a blizzard. And then walking and scoring as well as driving in another run makes it a full-on avalanche.
You really like these snow comparisons.
I hope Jacob Irons heard that, and I hope he was happy with it. Because he was talking, and he was telling me and asking me how many more snow references I could make. And I think that might be all of them right there. And I sure am proud of it.
That's a good one to end on if that's it.
There we go.
Well
Then I'm ending there.
That was well done.
As here's the 1-1 to Snow. Fouled back. Now 1-2.
Yeah, Snow had 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored, 2 walks, 2 hits. Did it all and had an error that ended up scoring a run early on, and man, did he make up for it.
Yeah. His father was in attendance last night, surprised him at last night's game. 1-2 is way upstairs. Sure makes his father proud with last night's game. Looking to follow it up here. He's worked the count 2-2 on Michael Barnett. Brandon Ike leads off third with 1 out here in the top of the second. 2-2 to Snow is on the ground to third and past a diving Darnell.
Fast as he slides in safely and cuts the lead to 1.
Yeah, that's a great swing there by Eric Snow, staying hot, producing another RBI there. A great swing, 2 strikes, works a good count, catches that ball out front, pulls it right down the line. Beautiful swing, great RBI double for the hot Eric Snow.
And here's your responses again. 2 runs in the bottom of the first. They immediately come back with another one here in the top of the second, looking for more as Brody Donay takes the first pitch high. All season long, just about responses coming immediately back. As the pitch to Donay inside, but catches the inside corner for a strike one.
And scoring runs like that is what we like to see. Manufacturing runs, working a walk, then advancing on the pass ball, and then working a ground ball, get him to over third, base hit, scores them. That's how you manufacture runs right there.
1-1 to Donay on the ground and through the left side for a base hit. Snow is held at third. Turley booted it out and left, but it was hit weak enough that it probably would not have scored him anyway. Donay is on with a single. There's your matchup guy right there. Also a reverse split guy in Brody Donay, who we didn't see last night, immediately back in the lineup and producing. First and third, 1 man out for Will Whale Taylor. There are the whale calls.
I'm so proud of all my writer, baseball ops, broadcast friends for the fantastic whale call there.
The minions of Josh Schreiber with the whale calls.
That's what they call them.
Yeah. The first pitch to Taylor catches the outside corner for strike one.
Just a nice piece of hitting there by Brody Donay. Just trying to make some contact, make something happen. Gavin Turley with a great arm and left, so not going to test his arm with Snow. Just 1 out, so Taylor's just got to try to stay out of a double play here.
So a plate disengagement and now a mound disengagement from Taylor and Barnett, respectively.
Okay, looks like the count is 0-2 now.
Oh, there was a pitch clock violation.
Yeah, I believe that's
My
what it was.
apologies. Good catch, Nico. Good catch. The 0-2 to Taylor swung on and missed. The tip was squeezed by Hyannis. Big strikeout for Barnett. Good catch on the clock violation from Nico Sharp. I didn't see it. And there are 2 away, and that turns the lineup back over for Earhart with the tying run 90 feet away.
And there's your rare 2-pitch strikeout right there.
Yeah.
Not going to see that too often, but
it's a new
there
game
was.
of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nasty slider as well, just off the plate.
So up steps Earhart. First pitch to him catches the outside corner for strike one. If not for John Gazdar, you could say he's the hottest hitter, especially over the second half of the season. Was a hit away from reaching 300 after starting 0 for 26 on the year. The 0-1 to Earhart is a fly ball to left. Back goes Turley, still back, and a few steps in front of the track makes the play. So the Hawks strand the tying run 90 feet away, but get one home as Eric Snow's RBI double cuts the deficit in half. We're through 1.5 from Gov Fowler Field, 2-1 to Falmouth here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field. We're into the bottom of the second. Now 2-1 to Falmouth after Hyannis punches back to get one more. They do leave the tying run 90 feet away, but Hyannis knows there's plenty of ball left to be played. They put up 2 hits in each of the first 2 innings. Now time for Hayden Frank to hold Falmouth in their tracks.
Yeah, need a little bit of a bounce back inning here for Hayden Frank after giving up 2 walks one hit and allowing 2 runs to score. A little bit unlike him with the walks especially, so hopefully he can bear down here and have a nice rest of his outing.
Yeah, and although only giving up 2 runs there, I'm
along with trying to be a bit picky where he wants to throw. It's 1-1. Did he go? Yes, he did. 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. He just seems pretty confident. He was working ahead of hitters, but then just try to get a little fancy around the corner while he's trying to nibbling off the plate.
Well, yeah, that's just Route 1 stuff right there. Coming back from a curveball with some high cheddar. The foul tip squeezed by Donay, and immediately down goes Nathan Humphrey swinging.
Yeah, really nice pitch on the outside part of the plate there. And Humphrey's kind of just taking not a check swing, but a half-hearted swing, clearly looking for something else.
First pitch to Cade Clemens well upstairs.
It's going to be so hard for these hitters to try to stay back on that curveball when he throws a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. So like you said, Josh, he probably was sitting curveball right there.
Just outside on the 1-0. Now 2-0.
And if you're thinking curveball at 75 miles per hour and he sneaks in a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, I mean, that ball looks like it's coming at 97 miles per hour.
Fouled into the screen. Now 2-1 on Clemens. Cross Sivley the same way. He doesn't have too much juice on the fastball. Maybe sits 87, 88. But with his curveball and slider, 20 miles an hour slower as the pitch low. Now 3-1. Gets below 70 with that off-speed junk. Equally as foolish, he makes hitters look as well.
Yeah, and with Cade Clemens up here, who is 0 for 1 this season against Hayden Frank.
3-1. There's the high cheddar again. Well up and out, too. But Clemens had the green light. Swings right through it, and the count is full.
Yeah, did Frank a favor there, swinging at ball 4.
The payoff to Clemens, low and in, and that allows Clemens to first, bringing up Sean Darnell.
And there's got to be something behind Frank's fastball. We understand that he does have a higher spin rate on his fastball, but it seems like they're chasing early in counts up in the zone. So it seems like, I mean, it's not the first time that we've seen him go with 2 strikes up in the zone, and they're just swinging right through it. They cannot. Their eyes just see it, and it just blows up like a balloon, and they're just swinging right through it.
As Jacob Iron says, eyes eat first on that high cheddar. As the first pitch to Darnell, there it is again, but this time in there enough to catch the upper tier for strike 1. 0-1 the count on Darnell. Darnell 1 for 4 last night with a fielder's choice. As that's low, now 1-1.
Frank with 3 walks so far in the game, just threw 1 1/3. Already a season high for him. Just 7 walks on the season.
Way, way upstairs as Donay had to go jumping for the 1-1. Now 2-1, the count on Darnell.
One thing to note about Hayden Frank is in college, he was not a starting pitcher this past season. Was only made 1 start for Lipscomb and kind of finding a new role.
The 2-1 drops in good length, or good height, but just outside. Now hitters count for Darnell. He's up 3-1.
So imagine going from being a relief pitcher in college ball to now being a starter in the playoffs of the best summer league in the country.
It's a big ask as the 3-1 is knuckled softly. Dares Smith to make the play, who throws back to first, not in time, as Clemens was well off the bag. Soft contact from Darnell off the bat, and he chased Clemens back, and he put a good throw on. It might have been a double play. It was not to be, but 2 away, and that turns the lineup over for Turley.
Yeah, and off the bat, that looked like a little bit like what Gavin Turley's double was in the first inning, but on the other side was, who was that hitter? It was a lefty, but Cam Smith made that catch and then couldn't get enough on the throw to make it over to first in time.
Turley chops the first pitch foul.
Yeah, that one had me worried. He ran in a fastball in on the inner quadrant, and I was so worried. When John pulled over towards second base just a little bit, I was worried that ball was going to fall, but Cam Smith showing off the range there, making a play on his glove side.
The 0-1 upstairs.
Yeah, it was a fastball in on the hands of the hitter and hit just 54 miles an hour off the bat.
Clemens leads off first. The 1-1, fastball fouled away. Now 1-2 the count. He's doing a lot better in those 2 strike counts, though, this inning is Frank, delivering that pitch. Even if they're working those counts, Turley and other hitters are making him work, and he is delivering those pitches now.
Yeah, he was just trying to nibble a little bit too much last game. I mean, but really not making bad pitches, though. They're just taking even better takes.
1-2 is well upstairs. There's again that high fastball. Could be in the scouting report for a few of these hitters to see if they go up and chasing.
Yeah, big time. Loves to elevate the fastball. That one just a little bit too high. Not really a competitive pitch.
The 2-2. Inside now, 3-2 on Turley. Don't want to bring up the batting champion Travis Bazzana on deck. So a big pitch here for Frank up against Turley. Clemens will get a head start from first. The payoff fouled into the screen. That's the pitch you want. But Turley catches up and fouls it back and stays alive. Frank, a left-handed pitcher, Turley, a right-hander in the batter's box. It'll be a full count coming. The pitch is a looping curveball into shallow left. Mitchell played way back, comes in, and he can't make the play. Coming around third and scoring is Clemens. It's an RBI double for Turley. They had him played way back. 2 pitches and 2 doubles that maybe have a combined exit velocity of not even 110 miles an hour for Gavin Turley. That's a 3-1 score now.
Such a tough play there by Mitchell, and if Mitchell's not getting to that ball, then nobody is. That ball, he's playing deep, close to the warning track, almost there in left field, and that ball just a blooper. Could not get to it. He tries to pick it, run scores. Turley somehow going 2 for 2 with 2 doubles today.
Yeah, and that one just 65 miles an hour off the bat, so almost identical. First one was 64.
Just upstairs to Bazzana, now 1-0. Falmouth now has a 3-1 lead. Both of the hits coming off of Turley's bat, and both of them going 64 and 65 miles an hour. The 1-0 to Bazzana is tipped at the plate, now 1-1.
Very sharp curveball there from Frank. Reaches out front, gets Bazzana a little out, catches him a little out front. That's a good curveball there to get back in this count 1-1.
Bazzana worked an impressive walk last time.
Chopped foul at the plate again. So 2 good pitches there. Bit of a change in approach there to Bazzana, lefty on lefty. Goes the 2 off speed. Not seeing it down too much, so could see the high fastball back here. As Turley leads off second, his RBI double has made it a 3-1 Falmouth lead. The 1-2 to Bazzana. Went back to the same pitch. Donay liked it, but it was low. Now 2-2 the count.
Yeah, Bazzana just continues to work these good counts, having great plate recognition, having great pitch recognition, working 4 walks in 2 days.
It'll be a 2-2 to Bazzana. Frank deals upstairs, and Bazzana works the count full.
Go, baby. Come on, Frank.
Frank's working hard to try to get him to chase there. Went to a sharp breaker low in the zone there. Then he tries to elevate the fastball to try to get him to chase like so many others have. But Bazzana, with the plate recognition he has, that's an easy take for him.
Payoff coming to the Aussie. Frank deals low. That's another tough take there from Bazzana. Another walk for Travis Bazzana, and that's another one for Hayden Frank as well. That is now 4 on his ledger for the day, 2 of which coming to Travis Bazzana.
And Hayden Frank really working hard here. Up to 54 pitches on the day already, just through 1 2/3. So Brody Donay going out to talk to him, maybe get him to settle down. You got 2 outs here. First and second play is at first, second, or third. So just try to get a ball on the ground as he is so good at and get out of this inning.
Yeah, that's something that's so frustrating as a pitcher is you feel like you're throwing the kitchen sink at somebody and they just keep fouling it off or taking great takes, working deep counts. You just feel like you just can't find a way to get these guys to swing and miss.
And that could be attributed to the fact that they saw him last Monday. There's a bit more advanced scouting, very recent stuff from Hayden Frank, so any adjustments he made might have been picked up on, as they really have worked some great at-bats today, as the first pitch to Yannick wrapped foul outside of third. As the fencing out in left field is translucent, I cannot see who it is, but there is action in the Hyannis bullpen out beyond the left field wall underneath the scoreboard.
Luckily for Hyannis, they do have a lot of guys available today.
Both runners in Turley and Bazana jumping, and both of them go. The throw is down to third, and it's not in time. That was a pellet from Brody Donay. We've seen a bit of inaccuracy from his arm this year, but that one right on the money to Cam Smith. And if Turley's getting in there underneath that throw, that means he beat it.
And just the pitch before, after this pitch, I was going to say, got to keep an eye on Turley there. He was getting a huge secondary, seemed to be timing up Frank. And even with that long hold that Frank had, Turley was halfway down after that secondary, easily steals the bag. Brody Donay somehow making a close play at third base.
0-2 is upstairs to Yannick. So that takes the play at any base away, the force at any place at any base away. Only force will be to first. It's a 1-2 now to Yannick with runners on second and third. Bazana and Turley both stealing as it's fouled off. Donay a bit frustrated he couldn't squeeze it. Count stays at 1-2.
Yeah, Yannick 0 for 4 against Frank, as I mentioned earlier. Did walk his first at-bat, though, so starting to get some better takes.
Frank sets and deals the 1-2, fouled away again, behind on the fastball. Reached 90 on that one, but Yannick stays alive.
Falmouth continuing to be a burden with 2 strikes. Late in counts, you can see that they're shortening their strides a little bit, being a little more handsy, just fighting off tough pitches, taking those tough curveballs low in the dirt. I mean, they're producing really good ABs to get Frank's pitch count really high going into the second inning.
1-2 swing and a miss. That's a big strikeout for Hayden Frank, stranding 2 runners on second and third. But Falmouth does get one more run. They extend the lead to 3-1 after 2.
See if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on a club with?
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Michael Barnett out for his third inning of work, has a 3-1 lead to work with. It'll be Gazdar, Smith, and York, 2, 3, and 4 in the Hyannis order. We were just talking about this off air just now, about how important it was that these were long innings, but only 3 runs have scored. This is giving a chance for the offense to get themselves back into it here in the top of the third.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see if they let Frank try to find his groove a little bit. You know, we've seen some really good things out of him today. Also seen a little bit of command issues, but interesting to see if they're going to pull the trigger here and get the bullpen hot, or if they're going to let Hayden Frank try to really settle in and get into this game.
Just a 2-run deficit for Hyannis. We know they're capable of putting up a big number.
The first pitch to Gazdar is low, gets underneath Yannick to the amusement of the Hyannis contingent to our left. Want to know the count on Gazdar, hitting over 500 in his last 8 games. Last night made it 7 of his last 8 being multi-hit games. 1-0 is down the right field line, soft contact. Over is Walsh, and he can't make the play, and it lands in foul territory. How about 8 of 9 for you, Josh Schreiber? He's got another multi-hit game, 2 for 2 already on the day, and he leads off this one with a single.
Just a beautiful job right there to stay back on that curveball and just place it into right field. Drops just left of that foul line and bounces into foul territory.
Yeah, it's a beautiful swing, just taking it where the pitch is.
First pitch to Cam is outside. Hyannis fans really feeling it now. Energizing little bloop single from Gazdar.
And as a hitter, that's when you know you're locked in, when you can wait back on that breaking ball and send it into right field.
1-0 to Smith, chopped foul right at home plate. Now 1-1.
Yeah, like you mentioned, it's very much a confidence builder. You know, when you know you can just track pitches all the way, understand, catch that ball back in the zone, and take it that way. You just know you're seeing the ball well and everything's working right for you.
Really good energy coming from this third base side and the Hyannis fans. Here's the 1-1 to Smith. Big hack and a miss at the off speed. Now 1-2.
Here we go, Sweet Pickle! What you say, Cam?
Barnett sets for the 1-2 and deals. Good take low on the slider. Evens the count at 2.
It's a great take there by Cam. It's a tough 1-2 take, especially with being late in the count. That slider being a hard breaking slider. That's a great active take once again by Cam Smith.
The 2-2 is on the ground. Up to short, this could be 2. Clemens for 1. Bazana on to first. It's a double play. 6-4-3. It goes around the infield, and there are quickly 2 away. That brings up York with the bases clear.
That one just took a perfect hop for Clemens over at short, almost as if it were placed into his glove. Flipped it onto second, and then onto first for the easy double play. A big double play for Falmouth.
Second double play grounded into already by this Hyannis offense, beg your pardon. As the first pitch to York dunks in for strike 1.
It did take kind of a weird bounce. It was a hard ground ball up the middle. I was hoping for a chance for it to just kind of skim under the glove, but it took a little candy hop right into Clemens' glove. Taylor-made double play. Made it look easy.
0-1 to York is outside. Now 1-1 the count on the Grand Canyon prospect.
What an ad York was. I know you guys have talked about it all the time, but he's been so good in the middle of this lineup.
Catches the inside corner for strike 2. Can't talk about it enough, though. There were injury concerns at first base. There was a bit of depth issues as well. But York comes in and gives you just about every single thing you could possibly want out of a first baseman offensively. Here's the 1-2. Inside. Now 2-2 the count. I think the frame from Yannick gave a little snicker out of Zach York, saying, good try, buddy. Works the count to 2-2. If anybody knows the strike zone, it's Zach York. 2-2, punch to short. Fielded and booted by Clemens, who throws on, not in time, and it gets behind the first baseman, McGregor, and since it bounces past the dugout, that will allow York, or will it allow York to go to second? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. He now goes on to second after handing off his equipment. So the misplaced throw beyond the dugout gets York to second base, extends the inning, which you can't do for Hyannis, and that brings up Brandon Ike.
Yeah, and a big spot here for Brandon Ike. Had a great at-bat his first time up. 4-pitch walk, really controlled the zone, some close pitches, but now with a chance for an RBI opportunity, maybe cut this deficit down to 1.
First pitch to him, he was swinging. Couldn't catch up to 87 miles an hour. It's 0-1.
Barnett's definitely finding his groove, working that fastball, both arm side and glove side, being able to use his off speed on both sides of the plate as well. He seems to be finding in his groove as well.
0-1 to Ike is a fly ball to right. Back goes Walsh, still back, and he settles under at about 10 feet.
First series of the playoffs, and one of those measures that the baseball operations department has gone through is actually implementing a new system for calling pitches with the catcher. So Brody Donay, you can't see it obviously on the broadcast, but he has a nice wristband on his left wrist, and it tells him exactly how to attack hitters and what to avoid. So it lists every single hitter in the Falmouth lineup, and it has 2 columns. So it has the attack and the avoid column. So, for example, Travis Bazzano, you're going to want to avoid going inside to him at all. And to attack him, you're going to want to go low and away breaking. So that's just one more step that the baseball operations department has gone to prepare for this playoffs. And so we'll see it here with Frank, what decisions that Frank and Donay decide to make.
Yeah, if I live with baseball ops Mikey Lucario, and he's getting back to the house sometimes at like 2, 3, 4 a.m. just out of sheer preparation. It's just speaks to how much work baseball ops has put in. They really want this team to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely because of Nick Johnson over there, our general manager. He's put in so many nights just being at his kitchen table. He said, from 9 to 5, I am not only a general manager but a dad, but as soon as I put the kids to bed at about 8 or 9, I'm at my kitchen table until about 3, 4 a.m. doing scouting reports.
And it just speaks to how much everybody wants this team to win. And they got off to a good start in Game 1. Got to continue it here in Game 2. So thank you so much to the fourth member of our team, Bria Losick, as always. Hard-hitting stuff. As that brings up McGregor to start things off. McGregor, Walsh, Heyman, 4, 5, and 6 in the Falmouth order. Frank back out and hits off the knob of the bat, but not in time as McGregor leads off the bottom of the third with a double.
Tyler McGregor really pummeling that one down the right field line, just barely missing a home run there, and showing that he can pull the ball, he can hit the ball the opposite way, and a big leadoff double.
Yeah, Frank left that curveball just a little bit too far up in the zone. McGregor making him pay right there, catching that curveball out in front, pulls it straight down the line, just like you said, Josh, almost puts it out of here.
Just the third hit today for Falmouth, as there's another fly ball to right. This one looks reachable for Earhart. Settles under, makes the catch. Tagging to third is McGregor. The throw is just offline. So McGregor advances on the fly ball to right. A fly ball off the bat of Luke Heyman will score Falmouth's fourth run of the game.
Yeah, and guys, coming into today, Hayden Frank had given up just 4 extra base hits on the season. There have been 3 extra base hits today, although 2 of them have been 65 miles an hour or less off the bat.
Yeah, unfortunately for Frank, it's an extra base hit, however you slice it. So Heyman steps up with the fourth run 90 feet away and 1 away. And there's a fly ball to shallow center, and it dunks in front of Taylor for a base hit. Scoring is McGregor. It's an RBI single for Heyman, and there is the fourth run of Falmouth's day.
Man, death by a million cuts today for the Falmouth Commodores. That one hit off the bat at just 69 miles an hour, so they're not hitting the ball very hard, but they're placing them well. They're having good at-bats. They're drawing walks, and that's sometimes all it takes.
First pitch to Humphreys outside.
Yeah, Frank just leaving a couple of those pitches too middle right there. That pitch was straight middle, and he just took it right back where it came from. Base hit, blooper up the middle.
Humphreys sends a fly ball to left. Over and under it is Mitchell to put it away for out number 2.
And now, just to make it clear, if you're Hayden Frank, you can't be upset with your outing so far tonight. Obviously, still plenty of time, but he's making the pitches he wants to make, just struggling to put batters away. And that's obviously the hardest thing to do as a pitcher, as these hitters clearly now facing him for the 3rd time this season. It gets harder every time you face a lineup.
So popped up behind third. Smith underneath it and puts it away for out number 3. So despite another run scoring, that's a quicker inning for Hayden Frank. Gets his team back into the dugout. Now facing a 3-run deficit. Through 3 is Hyannis. 4-1 from Gov Fuller Field.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Hi. Oh, this is amazing.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Welcome back to Gov Fuller Field, where we remind you that Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Cape Cod Baseball League, and shares a reminder that blood donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod. Help save the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more at capecodhealthcare.org/blood center. Cape Cod Healthcare, caring, commitment, community. So Barnett back out for his 4th inning of work, has a 3-run lead to work with. He will face Mitchell, Snow, and Donay, 6, 7, 8 in the Hyannis order.
One thing of note, Trey Lipsy came into the game last inning, replacing Will Taylor, playing center field. Don't know anything about that, but we'll let you know if we hear.
So that puts Lipsy in a very natural spot, in the 9th spot in the order. Lipsy has been pretty hot as well since mid-July, as the first pitch to Mitchell bounced.
Yeah, Lipsy's been so good in that 9-hole spot, finding ways on, been so hot lately to flip the order, so we always have guys on base with the top of our lineup coming up to the plate.
Mitchell takes low. Now 2-0. Last inning, the play that York reached on, it was ruled that there were 2 errors, one on the boot in the field and then one on the throw. That run did not score, as there's a strike to Mitchell. Now 2-1 the count on the Indiana commit.
Would be real big if you can get Mitchell on base here to lead off the inning, maybe have him run as well. Just test out the arm of Walker Yannick.
Mitchell chops it foul outside of first, as Barnett has worked himself back into a 2-2 count.
Actually grazed off Mitchell's foot there.
Yeah.
He's taking a moment to, I guess, get back ready, get back in the headspace.
Doesn't have an Evo shield on that foot. We see a lot of guys with that.
Looks like, he lifted up his leg and it looked like there was something underneath.
Something maybe on the ankle.
Yeah.
The 2-2 is on the ground and through the right side for a base hit. That's the 3rd straight inning now that Hyannis has led off with a runner on. And that brings up Eric Snow as Mitchell leads things off with a single.
Yeah, I mean, they're having great at-bats. They're getting on base, and that's the recipe for success. Now just in the 4th inning, so sure, you have a 3-run deficit, but they've done way crazier things this season.
That's the 6th hit for Hyannis as well, compared to only Falmouth's 4. Snow takes the first pitch off speed and in there for strike 1.
And we said pregame that, you know, Barnett will give up some hits. He's kind of a pitch-to-contact guy, will also strike out some guys, but you've got to get those hits and then force chaos on the base paths.
Outside to Snow.
Yeah, he is a pitcher, though, that does like going straight after hitters, doesn't like to waste time, goes right after them, loves to change eye levels, change of pitch types, loves to change the mile per hour difference, makes it tough on hitters.
1-1 to Snow is a fly ball to right. Walsh settles under it and makes the play. So 1 away, that brings up Donay. Donay singled in his last at-bat. Did not feature last night, as they favored Bennett Thompson as the matchup guy against the lefties.
Yeah, did have a pinch hit appearance late in the game, but yeah, did not get the start. Gets the start today and has a beautiful swing for a base hit earlier in the game.
Brody takes the first pitch outside. That's when you might see him swing at a little earlier in the season. He's worked to that pitch as well as the last at-bat. 2 very good at-bats so far. The big catcher, the Florida commit, stands in. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Swing and a tip into the glove of Yannick. Now 1-1 the count on Brody.
Would love to see Donay use the entire field here with McGregor holding the runner on first and the second baseman playing right near the bag. You got a lot of space to work with on the right side.
1-1. He does go to right field, but it elevates enough just for Walsh to be able to settle under it. Well, you talked about it and spoke it into existence, Josh Schreiber. Good call from you, but it hung just up and allows Walsh to put it away.
Just not quite finding grass yet for the Harbor Hawks. But still a nice swing by Donay, I will say that.
Yeah, beautiful swing. We talked about it earlier in the game, just tracking the ball, catching it late, beautiful swing away, just right to him. That's a tough break for Donay.
First pitch to Trey Lipsy in his first at-bat of the game is taken up and away. So Taylor only had one at-bat in this game. He struck out swinging in the second. If we find anything out more on why Taylor was replaced, we will update you. 1-0 to Lipsy, taken well low. Now 2-0 the count on the Buckeye.
It's just the tough thing about baseball. You know, you see Donay having a perfect opposite field swing there, having an exit velo of about 90 miles per hour, does not find grass. But then Turley having an exit velo of 65 miles per hour twice and gets two doubles.
That's wrapped, and nice play by Bazana. Slick fielding to his backhand side and flips on to Clemens the short way to get the force at second. They say that's baseball, Susan, in New York, and they've been hitting the ball hard, just not enough of a product to show for it just yet. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, Hayden Frank back out after this, 4-1 to Falmouth.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-it-all, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Hell, Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Hell, Mama.
To the bottom of the fourth we go. Hayden Frank back out to work. He's let up a run in each of his 3 innings that he has started. Thinking that maybe because of that short inning last inning out, despite letting up the one run, it was a pretty quick inning. Limited pitch count as well. Could see him run out for the fourth and maybe a base runner on. Could see his day finished, but we'll see.
No, sorry, Nico, but Frank has really, that last inning started to get a little bit more in the groove of things and did give up a run, but again, it was just on those 2 bloop hits, so he's making his pitches, he's getting out of jams without any blow-up innings, just a matter of time.
1-0 miss to Clemens, and it's grounded outside of first. Beg your pardon, Darnell is up. So missed inside, and he grounds it outside of first. Now 1-1 the count.
And we mentioned it after his first inning. Now keeping them here at 4 runs is going to be so important because we know what the Harbor Hawks can do late in the game with producing runs.
1-1 to Darnell is upstairs.
Darnell out of Wallace Community College, originally from Alabama.
The 2-1 from Frank is flown third base side and out of play. It's what we love about this league.
Yeah.
Guy on the mound at Lipscomb won their conference, and then coming up against a guy in Darnell out of JUCO.
And then you look at Donay now going off to Florida, one of the premier baseball schools.
2-2 is a high fly ball to center, not too deep. Lipsy ranges over and puts it away. 4 out number 1. Call this league the great equalizer for a reason, as you can bring in guys from all likes and all kinds of programs, as Gavin Turley, the leadoff hitter, who has been the Achilles heel for Hyannis here today, steps into the box.
But it is so beautiful. Guys are coming from all around the country. We have some juniors, have some seniors, but also have some freshmen, a lot of freshmen here, all different ages. This is what we love to see.
So Turley has 2 doubles as the first pitch taken for a strike. 2 doubles, both with about a combined exit velocity of 130 miles an hour.
Actually, 129.
129.
Michael,
Sorry for my off math there. Thank you, Josh. As the 0-1 is fouled at the plate, 0-2.
The math wasn't mathing there, guys.
Nuh-uh.
It's all right. Hang in there.
1 digit off.
And I will say, so you've gotten him to get weak contact. Now, do you want him to make hard contact? Because he has 2 doubles with the weak contact.
Maybe him making solid contact would work.
Yeah,
I think
or just
reverse
strike
a
him
little
out.
bit.
Yeah. The 0-2 to Turley. It's weak again, but it's outside of third and foul. It'd be an interesting paradox if he were just to line out somewhere or hit a deep fly ball with a lot of exit velocity. Kind of just speaks to why baseball is such an unpredictable game. The 0-2 to Turley from Frank is in the dirt. Notable that this is now the 3rd time through the Falmouth order for Frank. And if my eyes are working correctly out there, I think it is Mason Nichols warming up, but I am not sure. Probably shouldn't have even said that. As the 2-2, there's your strikeout, Josh Schreiber.
There it
As
is.
Turley goes down swinging for out number 2.
That's what happens when you get him to not make contact at all, but
matters.
Well, and Mason Nichols typically a starting pitcher.
Right. The 1-1 upstairs. It'll be a 2-1 to Bazzana. As it's lined into center and just in front of Lipsy, who looked to may have had a play. But if he dives and lets that go by, that's trouble for Bazzana as he reaches with a 2-out single. He's reached all 3 times up to the plate today.
Yeah, he's just seeing the ball well out of Frank's hands. He worked 2 good walks earlier in the game in the 1st and 2nd inning, and then a hard line drive straight back up the middle, backspins the baseball. Another great AB for Bazzana.
So that brings up Yannick, lefty on righty with 2 away, as that's inside.
Something we haven't mentioned yet is Frank does hold runners at first really well, has a straight up leg kick, doesn't cross, but also doesn't mix in a slide step all that often, so if they were to go, it would have to be on first move.
Upstairs, 2-0 now to Yannick. Looks like Lanthier is just about ready.
You'd like to get Yannick here as well because you got McGregor up next, who's had some very impressive at-bats the last few times they've faced.
2-0, swung on and chopped foul to the third base dugout. He's also a lefty, too. So if you can retire him here and just get out of the inning, that could end you because you would want the lefty on lefty if you're Hyannis. You maybe wouldn't want to bring Lanthier on in that spot, as Lanthier is a righty out of the pen. As here's the 2-1, they'll check back on Bazzana at first.
Looks like it's Scott Updike warming up in the pen for Falmouth.
2-1 is ripped into the gap, and it's a base hit. And it's going to roll all the way to the fence. Mitchell gets it in, rounding third, and scoring is Bazzana. It's a 2-out RBI double for Yannick, and it is now 5-1 to Falmouth.
Yeah, really nice piece of hitting there by Yannick, just getting that one over the leaping try of John Gazdar. And Falmouth, once again, 2-out hitting, coming back to bite Hyannis here.
Yeah, hard line drive and great base running by Bazzana. He was flying around the base path, scores from first easily.
And yeah, they are not going to let Hayden Frank face McGregor again.
As they will go to the arm barn as Ethan Lanthier readies. He will now come in to try and get out the final out of the bottom of the 4th. Hayden Frank's day is done, and he leaves with a runner on second and a 5-1 deficit.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, determine to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Ethan Lanthier out of the arm barn is the first pitcher out in relief of Hayden Frank. He lets up 5 runs and hands off the rest of this game to Ethan Lanthier.
Yeah, Ethan Lanthier has been locked down for most of the year for Hyannis. Left for a little bit, going on some college tours as he committed to Kansas. And since he came back, you know, had a little bit of a rough spurt, but he's really come back into his own, looking like, you know, the movie star Ethan Lanthier is with that confidence on the mound, the mustache, the mullet. Really just an impressive pitcher to watch.
Yeah, he's coming in a little bit of a different role here. It's usually coming in like a closer role, a one-inning role, but him here in the middle innings, wouldn't be surprised here if they try to get him to eat some innings and try to hold him to here at 5.
Here's some gas from Lanthier as he pumps it by McGregor for strike 1 at 91 miles an hour.
A little bit of a different look here. Hayden Frank, a lefty, 88 to 91. Here with Lanthier averaging around 93, 94 miles per hour with his fastball.
0-1 misses low.
And then Frank's got that true 12-6 action on his curveball with Lanthier working with a harder cut slider.
So it'll be a 1-1 to the lefty McGregor, with Walker Yannick leading off of second. The pitch to McGregor, there's that slider, breaks back in nicely, 1-2 the count.
And Nico, how big is it to bring in a guy like Lanthier who, you know, he's so much different than Hayden Frank, coming from the right side, and although he does throw similar pitches, it's from different, you know, different arms, different everything.
As the pitch misses 2-2.
Yeah, it does play a huge factor because of, yeah, you said lefty versus righty. Lanthier has a really big frame. You know, his fastball has so much life behind it, and his slider is a hard-cutting slider. Just change your timing on everything.
The 2-2 to McGregor. Went to go get it down low, but fouls it away.
You know, especially as a hitter, you know, with Frank, you know, he's a, you know, low 90s lefty guy and with a very slow breaker, while Lanthier, his breaker really feeds behind that fastball as a hard-cutting slider.
The 2-2 to McGregor is lined right at Snow, who picks it on the short hop and fires to first to end the inning. Yannick stranded on second, but it was his double that scored Travis Bazzana with 2 outs and knocked Hayden Frank out of the game. Falmouth has a 5-1 lead. They're doing their best Hyannis impression, scoring in every inning so far today. And Hyannis has something to respond to as we go to the 5th here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, determine to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be? Be a bad mother.
Let's go to the fifth. It is 5-1 to Falmouth. Other games happening elsewhere. The other Western Division game, as you see, is Cotuit 4, Bourne 1 in the bottom of the fifth. Playing implications as the winner of this series will play the winner of that series. Should Hyannis win tonight and should Cotuit win to even the series, Hyannis will get an off day tomorrow and wait for the winner of that series. But should Falmouth win tonight, regardless, we will be playing tomorrow night at McKeon Park.
Yeah, both teams, when they had their backs against the wall, answering well, both getting up early with Cotuit at 4-1 and Falmouth up 5-1 here. Both teams answering the call on game 2.
First pitch to Earhart is fouled away as Barnett out once again for his 5th inning of work. They like getting him into decision range. As this is the chance to do it, though, for Hyannis. Top third of the order in Earhart, Gazdar, and Smith, facing Barnett for their 3rd time today. The 0-1. In there quickly 0-2.
Barnett back out there for this inning, but Updike has been warming up in the bullpen now for quite a while for Falmouth.
So quickly 0-2 on Earhart. Barnett sets and deals. Good take from Earhart to spit on the low cheddar.
Yeah, that's another great take there by Earhart. But yeah, he's been getting hot over there for a long time. No pitching coach next to him, no player kind of communicating. So not sure if you know, he's going to be hot and ready for the next guy.
1-2 fouled away again. Let's do it one more time.
Yeah, an interesting thing about Updike, he actually pitched 3 days ago in the finale of the regular season against Cotuit. Started that game, went just 3 innings, so still could be fresh today, but has not given up a run this season.
1-2 is a soft fly ball to right. In comes Walsh, dives, and he can't make the play. It falls in front of him. That could have been a lot worse. As Walsh keeps it in front of him, a leadoff single again. Hyannis gets their leadoff guy on. That's one you want with the speedy Zach Earhart on first.
Yeah, with the speedy of Earhart, and then you have guys like Gazdar, Smith, and York behind him, guys who can manufacture runs right here. This will be a great time with the leadoff man and Earhart getting on to try to scratch away at this lead.
Maybe try to force Falmouth to make a play here if they can run.
Gazdar takes the first pitch low. Gazdar already 2 for 2 on the day. Now 8 of his last 9 games have gone multi-hit for the Austin P man. 1-0 inside, 2-0 on Gazdar. Updike went 1 2/3 last Monday against Hyannis.
And like Donay, there's a lot of space on the right side over there. He likes to go oppo as well.
2-0 hack and a miss from Gazdar. So Updike is just about ready. A guy that Hyannis have seen before and did not fare well against. Just a hit and a walk off of Scott Updike last week. Barnett deals the 2-1, chopped foul in front of the dugout of Hyannis. Now 2-2 the count.
2 back-to-back healthy swings there by John. Having very confident approach, very strong swings, just missing both of them. You can see him nodding his head, understanding that he knows he just missed it.
This will be the 80th pitch from Barnett.
The 2-2 to Gazdar. Taken low, and he gives a bit of a shimmy, a right-handed Soto shuffle in the box as the count runs full. Has to pump himself up a little bit for this payoff pitch. Earhart on first. As here's the payoff. There goes Earhart. The pitch is taken low. Throw down to second. Doesn't even matter. They still did throw down to second. Wouldn't have gotten him out because John works a walk. First two hitters on here in the top of the fifth for Cam Smith. And it was in this situation, in the top of the fifth, in a deficit against Falmouth at Gov Fuller Field, that Cam Smith took one to the deepest part of the park.
Yeah,
just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and that was the last home run he hit as well, so he's been on a little bit of a home run slump, I guess by his standards. We'll see if he could do it again.
Takes the first pitch low. So some signs of fatigue here in Barnett.
Something that we have to highlight was that John AB going down 0-2 and working and taking really tough pitches, working that walk to stay with no outs. Now we got runners on first and second for a hitter like Cam Smith. This could be a potential for a big inning.
Swing and a miss at the fastball from Smith. Another healthy hack, but Barnett beats him on the challenge there. 1-1 the count.
Something about Barnett that we haven't mentioned yet is when he throws a fastball on his arm side, it has a little bit of a tail to it. Got a little two-seam, almost a little sinker action when he runs that fastball arm side.
1-1 is chopped up the middle. Bazzana steps on second for one, throws to first. It's a double play. That's the third really timely double play turned by Barnett today. Second one off the bat of Cam Smith. As Earhart advances to third, but two big outs there for Barnett.
And Bazzana perfectly positioned there as that one hit up the middle, just not enough mustard on it. Bazzana steps on second, turns the easy double play.
The pitch to York upstairs.
Very unfortunate, just right. Bazzana didn't even have to take a step after catching that ball. Literally had the ball on the bag, caught the ball, stepped in the bag. Like you said, Josh, just an easy double play, tailor-made. Could not be any easier for Bazzana.
The pitch to York. It gets away, and that will allow Earhart to score. So there's your energy right there. A lot of pressure taken off of York right there to get him home as Earhart scores on the wild pitch. Now 5-2 to Falmouth. So they've taken something away from the inning. Let's see if they can manufacture a little bit more.
Yeah, keep in mind, we're still only in the fifth inning. There is plenty of time, and just a 3-run deficit.
The 2-0 to York is on the ground to short. Clemens ranges over, fields, and throws in time to put York away for the final out. But Zach Earhart scoots home on the wild pitch. That's one more run closer and one run chipped back for Hyannis. We're halfway through from Gov Fuller Field, 5-2 to Falmouth.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
At the halfway point here from Gov Fuller Field, Falmouth has a 5-2 lead over Hyannis. 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for Falmouth. 2 runs on 7 hits. Only 2 runs on 7 hits and no errors for Hyannis. They are getting the base runners, but just not being able to scratch them across through this first half of the ball game.
Yeah, and 3 double plays hit into by Hyannis. That's the reason for the only 2 runs. But honestly, I still like Hyannis' chances. They're still putting together some great at-bats. Falmouth does not have the deepest bullpen, so Hyannis is going to test it out because I'm guessing Barnett is done for the day with over 80 pitches now. So, hey, we'll see.
And not only that, you have a guy like Lanthier on the mound who you know has been solid for you guys all year. Really feeling confident that this guy can eat up some innings, hold it there at 5.
First pitch to Barry Walsh is fouled away. Walsh, Heyman, and Humphreys, 5, 6, 7 in the Falmouth order. But that's what makes Hyannis so difficult, is that their pitchers can hold the team where they are. They're never out of games, especially if it's in slam range, which right now it is. As the 0-1 is ripped to left field and down for a base hit. Over is Mitchell to cut it off. He spins and throws. Walsh going to second. He slides in safely with a leadoff double.
Nice piece of hitting there by Barry Walsh. Just ripping that one into the left center field gap.
Yeah, good points of hitting from both teams. Combined 14 hits here near this halfway point.
So up steps Luke Heyman with Walsh on second. Drove in a run in the third.
Yeah, Luke Heyman 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs here today. Has another RBI opportunity here.
Fouled into the screen on the fastball from Lanthier.
Lanthier sitting on a 6-inning scoreless streak dating back to, let me pull that up, July 20th.
So pre-All-Star break, scoreless streak now in jeopardy with the runner on second in Walsh as Heyman takes the pitch low. We're in the bottom of the 5th from Gov Fuller Field here in Falmouth, Massachusetts on Cape Cod. Ethan Lanthier's 1-1 is outside. Michael Kirsting, Nico Sharp, Josh Schreiber bringing you all the action from Gov Fuller Field here in Game 2 of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs presented by Duncan. As here is the 2-1. Swing and a foul into the glove of Donay. Now 2-2 the count. For those joining us across the Cape Coast and country, we thank you very much for spending part of your Saturday evening with us here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network as Hyannis looks to claw back from a 3-run deficit. As the 2-2 is a fly ball to right, fairly deep. Earhart underneath it makes the play. Tagging is Walsh. The throw will be cut off at second. So Walsh reaches third. A fly ball off the bat of Nathan Humphreys will score the 6th run of Falmouth's day.
And I imagine Hyannis will probably bring the infield in. No, as of right now, the corners are in, but the middle infield is back. So down 3 runs. Not totally focused on getting the runner out at home.
Yeah, looks like Cam Smith will play even there.
First pitch at the knees to Humphrey, taken for a strike.
And here they come. They're coming in now. Cam Smith had his toes on the grass, and it looked like they just got confirmation they want the infield in here.
The 0-1 is a soft fly ball to shallow center, and that will dunk in for a base hit. I mean, there's just another one. You don't need to hit them hard as long as they find grass. As Humphreys drives in Walsh. So 2 runs in the first and 1 run all the way through the rest, including here in the 5th for Falmouth, now 6-2.
Yeah, Michael, it's almost unbelievable that these very, very weak hits, and as they say, sometimes better to be lucky than good, Falmouth, a little bit of both.
Yeah. Clemens swings and misses at the first pitch.
And guys, I feel like I'm having a little bit of a deja vu here. 2 innings ago, McGregor, double, Walsh, fly out to right field, and then that Heyman hit that weak single up the middle.
Yeah.
And the same exact thing just happened here. I felt like I had a little bit of deja vu with that deep fly ball to right field to Earhart, then a base hit up the middle.
Well, upstairs to Clemens. It's a good point, Nico. That's how they're manufacturing right now. Falmouth doing the same thing, manufacturing their own runs. Using productive outs, using good base running. 1-1 fouled away by Clemens. Now 1-2.
And Michael, you spoke on it a little bit earlier, but so far Falmouth scoring in every inning after scoring in this inning as well. That's 5 straight innings. And as you said, kind of pulling a Hyannis, what Hyannis did yesterday through 6.
1-2 to Heyman. He got him, punched him out looking as Clemens goes down on strikes, 2 away for Darnell with a runner on first.
You know, and you guys just mentioned it, and we talked about manufacturing runs. Only had that one crooked number there in the first with that 2-run spot. Other than that, just base hit, double, working the runner over, and then scoring him, finding ways to score with that 1 run, finding ways to chip 1 run, work 1 run. They're not double, double, double. These pitchers for Hyannis have done really well, but they're just finding ways to scrap 1 run in an inning.
Pitch to Darnell misses. 1-0, just outside. Runner on first is Humphreys. He drove in Barry Walsh after he hit a leadoff double. 1-0 upstairs at 92 miles an hour with the fastball from Lanthier.
Yeah, Lanthier's seems like he's got his ace stuff here, just struggling a little bit.
The 2-0. Fastball in there at the knees for strike 1.
His fastball is firm.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it just out of his hand. The ball just seems to fly out of his hands. You know, that ball just has that heavy fastball movement, just kind of really gets in there. Always hear the glove pop from Lanthier.
Swing and a miss at the high cheese from Lanthier. Now 2-2 the count on Darnell. 0 for 2 on the day is the Falmouth third baseman.
Feels like the pitch that Falmouth has struggled with most so far today. The fastball elevated, but still in the zone.
The 2-2 as the runner goes. Donay's throw goes all the way into center field, and that'll allow Humphreys to advance to third. So that makes this at-bat against Darnell even bigger here.
Yeah, with the full count here and a runner on third, got to be very careful because Turley is waiting in the on-deck circle back in that leadoff spot. So this is a big moment here for Lanthier to try to go right after Darnell.
Humphreys now on third, as here's the payoff to Darnell. That's fouled third base side out of play.
Nice emergency hack there by Darnell. Just trying to spoil that pitch, not what he was looking for. I think he was looking for the fastball up.
So it'll be a 3-2 to Darnell. Lanthier deals, swing and a miss. Darnell down swinging, and Humphreys stranded on third. But one more run for Falmouth. They've scored in every inning so far through 5. They lead Hyannis 6-2 as we go to the 6th here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Let's go to the 6th, the 6-2 Falmouth lead as Michael Barnett's day is done. A masterful 5 innings of work, letting up just 2 runs. He gives way for Scout Updike.
Yeah, Updike out of Jacksonville University has only pitched in 2 games, and as I alluded to earlier, his second game with Catuit, he had 3 innings pitched, or against Catuit, I should say. 3 innings pitched, started that game, just gave up 1 hit and 5 strikeouts. So a very impressive outing from him, and has not given up an earned run yet. Hyannis will try to get him for the first time this summer.
Yeah, Updike, a fastball, slider, curveball guy. Most of the times he's going to go fastball, slider, loves to throw that slider on towards his glove side, away from righties, or inside on a lefty, but mostly throws it to righties, starts on the shoulder, breaks it, low and away. That's usually going to be his go-to. Does throw the curveball a little bit. He feels comfortable throwing his curveball anywhere in the zone. Throws it early in the counts, throws it late in the counts, can use it whenever, just flips it over. Does have a changeup, haven't seen it very much from him so far this year.
So Barnett's line closes. He went 5 innings, giving up 2 runs. Only 1 was earned on 5 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. So really good work today from Barnett. He is in line for the win. Brandon Ike rips one right at Travis Bazzana. 87 off the bat. Yeah, this has just been a pretty paradoxical game from a Hyannis standpoint. They're getting the hard hits and the solid contact. It's just finding the back of the leather every time.
Yeah, and that's the second time Ike has hit the ball hard to the right side. He really has a lot of oppo power. A lot of his home runs that he hit at VCU this season were to right field. As a righty, it's a very impressive trait to see a guy that has that power to all fields.
So 1 away, that brings up Mitchell. 1 pitch, 1 out for Scout Updike as he leaves the first pitch up to Mitchell.
And something that's so difficult that Ike did a great job of is he hasn't seen Updike yet, but yet he watched that hard-breaking curveball he had, stayed back on it, and just lined it out to the second baseman.
It's on the back foot of Mitchell. Scraped the dirt. Now 2-0 as the Hyannis fans try to inject some life back into the team. As there's a strike to Mitchell on the outside corner.
Updike has faced Hyannis this season. Faced them July 31st. That was the walk-off win right here. Went 1 2/3.
The pitch catches the inside corner, quickly back up and into the count as Updike at 2-2.
In that appearance, Updike gave up just 1 hit, and it was to the on-deck batter, Eric Snow.
2-2 to Mitchell. Swing and a miss at the sweeping slider. Has Mitchell down on strikes.
Yeah, Updike does a great job with really mixing his pitches right there. He shows him fastball early, then shows that hard-breaking slider, and then his curveball a little more loopy, a little more of a 12-6, a little more vertical break right there. Gets Mitchell out front.
First pitch to Snow at the knees for strike 1.
As I mentioned, Snow 1 for 1 with a single against Scout Updike.
Misses low, now 1-1. Snow doubled in Ike back in the second. Was left stranded on third. Here's the 1-1 to Snow. Now outside, bit of a confident head shake from Eric Snow there. He liked that take.
That's a hard breaking ball right there. Looks flat, almost 3/4 the way, and then that last couple feet, it just breaks off the table.
Chop to the left side. Over is Darnell. Fields and throws in time. Smooth play by Sean Darnell at third to set down Hyannis in order. First inning since the second that they haven't put the leadoff man on, and it's the first time they go down 1-2-3 all day. We're through 5.5 at Gov Fuller Field, and it is 6-2 to Falmouth.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de bateo, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be? You're a bad mother.
Lanthier back out for his third inning of work, second full inning of work in relief of Hayden Frank. Looking to hold Falmouth at 6 runs. They have scored in all 5 runs before this, as they lead 6-2 here as they try to fight off elimination. A loss to them would end their season here tonight, and Hyannis would see themselves into the Western Division Final.
Yeah, this has been a great bounce-back game from Falmouth. After getting punched in the mouth a little bit by Hyannis game 1 last night, really coming off early, holding Hyannis to 0 runs in that first, and then coming back with 2 runs and then scoring 1 run since then. It's been a great game for them here in Game 2.
Yeah, how about that for a response that Hyannis does it, and now they're doing it themselves. We talked about it on the broadcast last night as the first pitch of the leadoff hitter, Turley, goes high. Games like that are forgettable because you know that that's not indicative of you as a team, and they come back and do the same thing that just was done to them a night before. 1-0 at 92 miles an hour, fouled into the screen.
Turley, as we've mentioned a couple times, started off the game with a double for Falmouth and then doubled again later on.
The 1-1 to Turley. Off speed, fouled back. Now 1-2 on the Falmouth leadoff hitter.
A lot of foul balls today, really by both teams. Both teams taking some nice at-bats. It's just really been a matter of converting with 2 outs. It's been the big difference.
Here's the 1-2 to Lanthier. Dirty pitch to get Turley swinging. That ball bottoms out. There's your straight ball and then dives out, Nico. That's the pitch that he was just talking about, and that sets down Turley swinging.
Yeah, that's that hard breaking slider that we've been looking for from Lanthier. You know, when you have a guy who throws that kind of velo at 94 miles per hour, and that slider, which is a hard breaking slider, all the hitter sees that little red dot, and then it just breaks out from under him.
First pitch to Bazzana disappears on his back foot, 1-0. Just about 2 hours ago, Bazzana was announced as the Pat Laurenti MVP winner on the season as he flies one left side and out of play.
Yeah, that was a fastball right down the middle. Bazzana, right after he swung, kind of in the backswing, did a little spin in disbelief that he didn't hit that one better. Hyannis yet to get him out so far today.
2 walks and a single on Bazzana's day. Takes the 1-1 low, has scored on 2 of those. Fully deserving MVP award winner is Travis Bazzana. As the 2-1 is ripped through the right side for a base hit, and he gives a look towards the Falmouth dugout, knows that he got Ethan Lanthier there. A bit in on the hands, but he was ready for that one, as that's a rocket. Finally, that seems a clean single off the bat of Travis Bazzana.
Yeah, you see why his numbers for the season speak for himself, but you can just see it in the plate appearance he's had today with just his understanding of the strike zone and his swings, his very confident swings. You can just tell he falls into good counts, and you can just tell that with his confidence that he has on why he was the MVP winner.
First pitch to Yannick is upstairs. Yeah, Corvallis, Oregon has a star on their hands. They've got another one as well in Elijah Hainline going up to Corvallis this spring. That's a star-studded infield
and
right
what
there.
state is that in?
That's in Oregon. As the 0-1 to Yannick did not hit him, so it gets by Donay as Bazzana almost walks down to second. Now 1-1 the count.
Bazzana moving into scoring position here. He has wheels, so with the outfield playing decently far back right now, especially in right field, Bazzana will probably score on a base hit to the outfield.
The 1-1 to Yannick fouled into the screen. 1-2 the count on Walker Yannick.
Yeah, Bazzana with great speed over there at second base. Scored from first to third, from first to home earlier. Showed great speed, so wouldn't be surprised yet, like you mentioned. If he's a single here, he'll be moving. He'll get the green light to go home.
The 1-2 coming to Yannick out of Sam Houston. Swing and a miss with the cheese from Ethan Lanthier. Pulled the string and sets Yannick down swinging.
Yeah, that was a nice slider that started in on Yannick and finished on the outer part of the plate. Just a nasty pitch. And when Lanthier's on, what he does so well is throwing that slider as a put-away pitch, but also throwing it for a strike.
So 2 strikeouts in the inning As the first pitch to McGregor is outside. 2 strikeouts with a Bazana single sandwiched in between.
Yeah, that's when you can tell Lanther is really on, is when he's commanding his fastball on both sides of the plate, as well as his slider as a strike 3 pitch, but also a backdoor.
1-0 blew it straight by McGregor at 91, as Donay was able to squeeze it. Strike 1 regardless, now 1-1.
And Lanthier talked earlier in the year about working on a changeup, but he is right now primarily a 2-pitch pitcher with the fastball and slider. He does such a good job tunneling those pitches, and what that means is out of his hands, it looks like the same pitch. Then one pitch keeps going fast, one pitch dives in.
1-1 is a fly ball to right. Earhart dashes over, and he makes a running play. That saves a run and ends the inning. And he has a word, does Ethan Lanthier, with Travis Bazana, as if to say, yeah, you got me. That ends the inning, and that's the first inning where Falmouth haven't scored. They take a 6-2 lead into the 7th. Time for Hyannis to respond here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Let's go to the 7th. Time cutting out for Hyannis to respond. They've got Donay, Lipsy, and Earhart, 8, 9, and 1 in the order. Pump it up, blaring out here from Gov Fowler Field. All contingents of Falmouth, of Hyannis, and everybody in between pumping it up for themselves. As Donay steps into the box. Hopefully what the Hyannis dugout saw was every single Hyannis fan pumping themselves up. As the first pitch is taken outside for ball 1, as Hyannis fans look to energize the players.
Yeah, that song Pump It Up really gets the Hyannis crowd going.
Yeah.
You can really tell the energy is building here.
It's a foul ball right side. McGregor had a nice first step, and he cannot handle it. The ball was in his glove there as he was running down that first baseline into foul territory. Looked like he might have tripped a little bit, and on the way down, he did not have full control of it and lost it. And Brody just about stays alive.
That is the toughest play to make, especially as an infielder. Running back with the ball over your shoulder, trying to make that basket catch. And not only that, he's also looking to make sure he's not running into any fences or any nets. So just not able to corral that one.
Not to mention the structure of this ballpark. The bullpen is right there, so
yeah.
he was starting to run up that mound, so definitely going to play a factor in there.
The 1-1 misses. 2-1 the count to Donay.
That was weird. It
yeah.
kind of went off, I think, either maybe the top of the glove of the catcher, but
2-1 in the dirt, but Donay swings and misses. Now 2-2 the count.
That time that ball bounced off the catcher's left leg guard and went all the way to the Hyannis dugout.
Here is the 2-2 from Updike, way upstairs.
Recently broke the record for the most ever hit by pitches in a Cape League season. I think that might have been in the point streak era, which dates back to 2011.
First pitch to Lipsy, fouled down the left field line and out of play.
Now with Donay on first, you're likely not going to send him. Does not have blazing speed, the catcher. Big catcher.
6'5", 215 he stands behind the plate, or he crouches. As here's the 0-1 to Lipsy. Fouled same spot. Now quickly 0-2 as Lipsy leaves the yard, foul again.
Back-to-back off backdoor sliders right there. Lipsy, not really much he can do there. Just try to flick his wrist at it. Just caught a little bit behind him. Fouls them both off for 0-2.
So Updike quickly ahead 0-2 on Lipsy with Donay off first. 0-2, good take on the off speed as Lipsy lays off the dirt, and it's 1-2.
That's a great 0-2 take. And something to mention here is Bazana is kind of shaded toward second base. We usually see that big gap in that second base slot with the righty up, which would make sense. But even with the lefty up in Lipsy, that gap is still pretty big over there pull side.
1-2 way upstairs with the off speed as Lipsy works himself back even.
Yeah, that ball kind of just slipped out of the hand of Updike trying to throw that curveball, only 70 miles an hour, and was way up and away.
Yeah, his curveball is missing a little arm side right now, leaving it up and arm side, just like he did against Donay.
2-2, it does hit him. That hits him on the back foot. And Josh Schreiber, hey, you warned him, yet he still does it. As Lipsy hit on the back foot, 2 hit by pitches to start the top of the 7th, and that turns the lineup over for Zach Earhart, 2 on, nobody out.
Yeah, and the Hyannis baseball ops writers, all the interns next to us really getting riled up now. Nothing like 2 hit by pitches to start an inning to get some fans going.
Especially Lipsy going down 0-2 there. That is a huge at-bat there for the Harbor Hawks.
Earhart squares to bunt as he misses it low. A notoriously good bunter in Zach Earhart. Could double as a sacrifice and or a hit, depending on how it could be fielded should Earhart bunt.
Which will bring the corners in, assuming third base, Darnell does stay home.
He does bunt right out in front of the plate. Yannick Fields turns and throws. Wow. That's a really good play from Walker Yannick. He had to do a full pirouette, 270 degrees, as his back was to first base. Turns and throws a dart to get the speedy Earhart, but the sacrifice is successful, bringing Gazdar to the plate with runners on second and third and 1 man out.
And the way yesterday's game was going, that ball yesterday probably would have been thrown into right field. Yeah. So an incredible play by Yannick because it was nearly a perfect bunt by Earhart.
So runners are on second and third here in a 6-2 game. The infield is back as the first pitch to Gazdar catches the outside corner for strike 1.
And with the score being 6-2, they ran a bunt coverage that they weren't worried about that lead runner. They were trying to make sure the play was made out at first. The third baseman, Darnell, did come crashing.
0-1 outside. First base is open, but Cam Smith is on deck. Gazdar 2 for 2 with a walk today, has reached in all 3 plate appearances. The 1-1 from Updike. Outside again, now 2-1.
That is 3 breaking balls in a row here early to Gazdar. Understand that there is a base open there, trying to get him to chase and shoot himself in the foot.
2-1, up the middle, base hit. Donay will score. Lipsy on to third, he is held. It's an RBI single for John Gazdar. He's 3 for 3. Hyannis fans fired up, and Cam Smith represents the tying run coming to the plate.
And what a piece of hitting by John Gazdar, sending that one back up the middle. Fans are riled up. They're on their feet next to us to our left. And with just 1 out now, I wouldn't be surprised if they send Gazdar here. Lipsy did have to hold up as the ball was hit right at him.
Pitch to Smith is away. The lead is now 6-3 to Hyannis, or to Falmouth, excuse me. As Donay scores on the John Gazdar single. As there's a strike at the knees to Smith. Didn't like it, but that's in there. 1-1 the count on the Pro Prospect Award. Winner on the Cape this season. Updike long hold, and the 1-1 is a fly ball. Deep center field. Back goes Humphreys with room. Makes the play. Tagging is Lipsy. He will score with no throw home. It's a sac fly for Cam Smith. And just like that, the lead cut to 2. Cam Smith with a productive out.
And man, off the end of the bat there, just a little bit, but Cam Smith just missing what could have been a home run to dead center had he hit that one maybe a couple centimeters closer to the barrel. But still getting the job done, driving in the run, now just a 2-run deficit with York coming up.
First pitch to Zach York, swung on and missed. York now still represents the tying run in what is a 2-run game.
And he's really starting to Updike's really starting to rely on the breaking balls here early.
Yep.
Back-to-back ABs where he's broken off the first pitch.
0-1, up and in. 1-1 the count to Zach York.
And actually, Updike sitting at 51% sliders, although just a small sample size, so he loves that slider.
York takes it on the inside corner now, 1-2.
It's a great pitch right there. He broke back-to-back sliders in that AB and then puts that fastball up and away, just freezes York just enough.
1-2 is a soft fly ball to left. Settling under it and putting it away is Turley to end the inning. But Hyannis scores too. We've got a ball game as it is time to stretch from Gov Fuller Field, now 6-4 to Falmouth.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why'd he sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Let's go to the bottom of the 7th as Falmouth starts to groove during the 7th inning stretch. Hyannis back in their groove a little bit, finding the offense. 2 hit by pitches and a John Gazdar single up the middle. Will bring in 2 runs to make the lead 6-4 as Ethan Lanthier back out for another inning of relief.
Yeah, scoring those 2 runs is so pivotal, especially late in the games. We're entering the back third of this game here, entering the bottom of the 7th. But what's even more important is to hold him here, put up a big 0 here for the Hawks. Lanthier, like we predicted, going to eat up some innings here, a guy they trust. This is one of the guys you would want to have the ball in this situation. Eat up some innings, hold them here, give the Hawks a chance to come back here in the 8th and 9th.
Walsh, Heyman, and Humphreys, 5, 6, and 7 due up in the Falmouth order here in the bottom of the 7th. As the first pitch tipped into the screen. You're good. As the Falmouth fans rising up, showing their support. It's a very nicely attended game here at a wonderful field. Wonderful old ballpark in Gov Fuller Field. As the pitch to Walsh, there's a strike. Quickly 0-2 on Barry Walsh. Hyannis fans making their voice heard. More cowbell as they brought the cowbells out for the game here at Gov Fuller Field today. The 0-2 to Walsh. There's that put away slider. Was just low. Good awareness from Walsh, but that's the pitch you like seeing Lanthier using on an 0-2.
Yeah, love him using that pitch in that situation, especially going 90, 91 with both his fastballs low in the zone, breaking that slider right behind. It's a great idea.
1-2, juiced him back up with the fastball, and Walsh just about fouls it off.
And those cowbells that you're hearing in the background, actually courtesy of Trey Lipsy's Nana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, brought them when she came to visit, gave them, I think, to Bria, our sideline reporter.
Okay.
And Bria putting them to good use now.
1-2 is low. Walsh works himself back to 2-2. I didn't know that. That's great that Nana's come up and left us a little parting gift as well. Bet she'll be happy to hear them on our broadcast right now. She's listening. So it'll be a 2-2 to Walsh. Lanthier deals outside with the wipeout slider again. He's worked all the way back to 3-2 after being down 0-2.
Another great at-bat. We're seeing this from both sides. 0-2 to 3-2 to even working walks. A great job by both teams.
It's a soft fly ball down the right field line, and it slices foul. It was not a soft fly ball. That had some distance to it as it one-hops into the exposed bleacher down the right field line, and we'll do the payoff again.
So here's where you start to see a two-pitch pitcher. Sometimes they can struggle going through a lineup more than one time. That's why you typically don't see them as starting pitchers. So now Lanthier getting through the lineup for the second time. We'll see how he fares.
Payoff swing and a miss. He juiced him up with the fastball at 92 miles an hour. Walsh down swinging to start the bottom of the seventh.
I don't know if Lanthier heard me, but certainly felt like it. Blew Walsh away with the high fastball. Said, I don't care, I've already faced him. I'll just blow him away anyways.
Yeah, took a little exception to it. As Luke Heyman stands in, that's an authoritative strikeout right there from Ethan Lanthier, a tone-setting one here in the bottom of the seventh. Ooh. Turned away from that, did Heyman. It bent back in, but not far enough. 50-50 pitch with the off-speed. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, just like we mentioned, really want a response here from Lanthier to put up a big zero after we scored some runs.
There's the fastball on the outside corner. 1-1. The 1-1. On the corner again, 1-2. Heyman with 2 RBIs on the day. An RBI single in the third. And then an RBI ground out in the first. 1-2 is fouled away. There's that off speed again. Heyman did well to get down to it.
And that was a gross slider down and away out of the zone. Not quite sure how Heyman made contact with that pitch to spoil it.
1-2 got a piece of home plate umpire John Budka as Donay gives him the courtesy, gives him just a sec. He says he's good. And Budka gets right back into his crouch. Here's the 1-2 from Lanthier. Up and in with the off speed. 2-2 the count on Luke Heyman.
Trying to get that front door slider to come back over the plate. Just a little bit high, missing that time.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He pulls the string. Heyman down swinging.
Yeah, went for it. The pitch before just missed arm side. Left a little high. Understood what he had to do. Made the adjustment. Pulled down really hard on it. Got him to swing over top. That's a great strikeout pitch there for Lanthier.
And a great job by Donay to call that slider again. He could tell that Heyman was not seeing that pitch well at all. Second time he was buckled by a slider. That time took a big hack and missed.
First pitch upstairs missing to Humphreys. 2 really good adjustments, as you guys both said, especially pulling the string there on Heyman. As here is the 1-0 to Humphreys. As it's high, almost the same spot. 2-0 the count.
If he's feeling comfortable, he missed fastball arm side twice. If he could break a slider backdoor, it'd be huge.
Tries to go a bit up and in on the opposite side of the plate with the fastball and miss. Now 3-0.
Think there's any chance we see a 3-0 slider here?
I wouldn't. I don't think so. I think his fastball command's been good. I would say probably a fastball's coming here.
Here's the 3-0. And there was the fastball. Put it straight down Broadway. That's about as middle as it gets. Now 3-1. The 3-1 to Humphreys is a soft chopper right back to Lanthier. Picks it up, flips onto York, and ends the inning. A big 1-2-3 inning from Ethan Lanthier. He's looked great in relief today. 2 strikeouts for him as well. And we go to the 8th, just a 2-run game here from Gov Fuller Field. We're set for a grandstand finish, fellas. 6-4 to Falmouth.
Chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de bateo, más éxito tengo.
And how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
To the 8th we go. Parker Coyle enters for Falmouth, trying to protect a 2-run lead. Brandon Ike will start things off. Coyle has looked good this season so far.
Yeah, he certainly has a 2.58 ERA and 10 appearances this season, 24 innings pitched, 24 and a third, I should say, 26 strikeouts, and just 5 walks. So he does give up some hits, but overall he has been lights out. His last appearance against Hyannis came July 24th. He went 3 and a third and only gave up 2 hits with 5 strikeouts, picking up the save. So Hyannis is going to need to get to him here, as he may stay in for the remainder of this game.
Yeah, this is a guy who they really use to try to shut the door on people. Has a full arsenal. He's a lefty, fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, cutter guy. Has a full 5-pitch arsenal.
Brandon Ike takes the first pitch high. Yeah, strap up, guys. You can hear the cowbells. You can hear the noise. Hyannis fans can feel it. They're in this game. And one swing away from tying and taking the lead as Ike fouls off the 1-0.
Yeah, it does have a full arsenal, but just about 90% of the time he's sitting fastball slider.
1-1, bounced in the dirt. 2-1 on the VCU product.
Yeah, and when you take a look at his sliders, he does like to place it everywhere. He's not only just going to backdoor or throw it for a strike 3 call.
2-1 is nubbed and through the right side for a base hit. Hyannis just keeps getting that first man on, really setting the table for themselves well as Ike starts things off with a single punch through the right side. That brings up Mitchell.
Yeah, here's Nick Mitchell, a tough lefty-on-lefty matchup here, though, for Nick Mitchell. Against lefties, again, mostly fastball slider, almost 100% of the time, has thrown 6 curveballs to lefties this season.
So Ike leads off first. Mitchell, as the guys mentioned, in a lefty v lefty matchup. Mitchell takes the first pitch outside. Eric Snow awaits on deck, an RBI double to his name today, as well as a 2-for-4 2-walk day yesterday. He's got the hot hand. 1-0 to Mitchell, in there for strike 1.
Such an easy 90 from the lefty,
Yeah.
90 miles an hour with the fastball.
Yeah, very smooth pitcher, very fluid. It looks effortless, and the ball just flies out of his hand.
1-1, did he go? No, he did not on the off-speed away. 2-1 the count on Mitchell.
And with that 90-mile-per-hour fastball, he's got a sharp, hard-breaking slider right there. Very tough take there by Nick Mitchell, but he gets it done to improve the count to 2-1.
The pitch dunks in and catches the inside corner, bit upstairs as well, but in there enough for strike 2.
Yeah, front door slider that just catches the upper inside part of the zone to even the count back up at 2-2.
The 2-2 zips in and just outside. And home plate umpire John Bunka kind of gave a little shoulder shimmy there, as he was confident in the call. Was the correct call, as that runs the count full on Mitchell. Snow awaits on deck, with Ike leading off first. Here's the payoff to Mitchell. He's missed it inside. Mitchell works a really professional walk. It was outside, beg your pardon. Mitchell with a really professional walk. And the guy with the hot hand, or you could say the cold hand, the ice cold hand in Eric Snow. I've got one more in me, guys. Steps up to the plate
done.
with 2 on and nobody out.
And this does leave a tough, interesting situation by the coaching staff here. You have one of your hotter hitters up. It is a lefty-righty matchup. Runners on first and second, tying run on first. Now there's a question of, do you sack bunt here? Do you give the runners 2 ducks in the pond with run second and third, tying on second for Donay, or do you let Eric Snow swing away here?
That could be what the decision is about on the mound there. Because you could argue that you let Snow swing away here with the hot hand, but at the same time you lay down that bunt, takes the double play out of order. With nobody out here, wouldn't be too surprised, but let's see what unfolds.
I think he will try to bunt just based on how they've been.
There's the square, and there's the bunt down the third base line. Only play is to first. The throw moved McGregor to the opposite side of the bag, but he does put it away and retire Snow. Sacrifice successful, the tying run now in scoring position. Ike off third, Mitchell off second for Brody Donay.
They are going to keep Donay in there. I thought maybe they would have Bennett Thompson come in to pinch hit in this situation, but no, they will stick with Donay. Has had some nice at-bats here today.
First pitch to Donay. Chopped foul at the plate.
With runners on second and third, this will allow Parker Coyle to work from the windup here. Infield's going to remain back. They're not going to be in anything, no doubles. Second baseman Bazana is pulled right behind second base. Shortstop's pulled over in his normal 6-hole. Third base is even with the bag.
0-1 to Brody. Zipped in and just low. Now 1-1 the count. Good take from Donay.
Coyle ramping it up now. 91 miles per hour with that fastball. Sits at 88 typically.
Second and third, 1 man out for Donay. Tapped at the plate again. Now 1-2. Here in the top of the 8th, a 6-4 Falmouth lead. A hit to the outfield could tie this game at 6.
And with him working out of the windup and Mitchell's great speed, he's going to get a ginormous secondary at second base, which will give him more of the chance to get a score on a
Good take from Donay. That's one we might see him swing at a little earlier in the season, but the curveball misses low in the dirt. Now 2-2, as Hyannis got to be careful. That could bounce by him and allow Ike to score a good block.
Yeah. Man, the Cardiac Hawks really making the heart pump right now.
The 2-2 to Donay. Swing and a miss. Juiced him up with the fastball. Donay down swinging. Huge strikeout for Coyle. And there are 2 away here in the top of the 8th.
Huge challenge pitch there by Coyle. Ran a fastball right in on the hands of Donay and said, hey, if you can get your barrel out front, go get it. He challenged him right there. Coyle did come out on top.
Up steps Trey Lipsy, one of the hottest hitters in the second half for Hyannis. Sees the first pitch high. He's going to have to be selective here. Needs to choose his pitch. If he doesn't see it, he's got Zach Earhart due up next, turning over the top of the order. Runners on second and third. The 1-0 swing and a miss at the fastball on the outside corner. 1-1.
That pitch was dotted on the outside part of the plate. Good swing by Lipsy.
The 1-1 to Lipsy. Swing and a miss behind on the fastball again. Coyle a strike away from getting out of serious trouble.
And with Coyle working corners there and getting ahead in the count, it does open up to use any of his 4 other pitches he has in his arsenal. Very dangerous count here for Lipsy.
The 1-2 to Lipsy. It's a soft fly ball. Left center. That ball is down for a base hit. Ike scores. Mitchell scores. Tie ball game from Gump Fuller Field. Trey Lipsy, a clutch 2-run single able to tie things up in the top of the 8th. It is a 6-6 ball game here in game 2.
Cardiac Hawks.
Yeah.
At it again. Trey Lipsy comes into this game as a defensive substitution, and he has the biggest hit of the night so far, but the job's not done. Still a tie game.
2-out magic once again by the Cardiac Hawks as Earhart fouls it first base side out of play. How big a moment could that be in this season?
Such a big moment. He got fastball in and out of the zone. I just mentioned it's going to be so tough to lay off that tough slider he had, and Lipsy went down and got it in the biggest moment, kept his composure, waited back, saw the ball late, and just barely poked over the shortstop's head.
The 0-1 there goes, and there's no throw down. Lipsy steals second as Hyannis mishandles the throw. The go-ahead run in scoring position.
And not only in that, it's a guy like Lipsy who's got great wheels on second base. Earhart, who's been seeing the ball so well. Base hit here gives the Harbor Hawks the lead.
And that's what putting pressure on the defense can do. Yannick not able to get that throw off, not able to get that out of his glove.
The 1-1 to Earhart. Fouled and just in front of the Bat Boys, having them flinch. It'll be a 1-2 now to Earhart.
Yeah, thank God for that screen in front of them.
Yeah.
That was going right for him.
Earhart behind in the count, 1-2. Harbor Hawks have tied the game here in the top of the 8th. A 2-run single from Trey Lipsy, who now stands on second, representing the go-ahead run. Here is Coyle's 1-2. Tapped at the plate, foul, and Earhart stays alive.
And the at-bats that Earhart's working here, another great swing there, spoiled that pitch, that back foot off-speed pitch there. If he can find a way on, that will lead to the blazing hot John Gazdar as well. Really big moment here for Coyle to try to lock this game down right here.
The 1-2 as there he goes again. The throw down to third is not in time. Lipsy steals 2 bases in the same at-bat. The pitch was inside to Earhart. So now with the open base, you could think about walking it, but you could rather just go ahead and get the strikeout. A ball that gets behind Yannick will score the go-ahead run.
Such a big steal there by Lipsy. Now it does keep it in the back of your mind that if he buries an off-speed pitch here and that ball gets away, that run can score. It changes the game completely.
The 2-2 to Earhart from Coyle is upstairs, and Earhart works back full. Keep in mind, John Gazdar, who has not been retired tonight, is due up. Earhart 1 for 4 on the day himself. And here is the payoff. Inside ball 4. He likes what he sees as he works a walk to bring up John Gazdar, the hottest hitter on this Hyannis team.
What an at-bat by Zach Earhart, and what a story he has been this season. Started off the season 0 for 26, and then got red hot, finishing the season almost at 300.
And that could very well be it for Parker Coyle, who puts his head down. He has been nails all season long, but Hyannis get to him when it matters. There's the call to the bullpen. Runners are on first and third for Hyannis. They have tied the game, and the go-ahead run is 90 feet away for Gazdar right after this.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why'd he sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like
my inside voice?
Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself.
Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Cody Del Vecchio enters the game. Parker Coyle leaves runners on first and third. Yeah, Trey Lipsy went with the old Falmouth approach. Just take it about 70 miles an hour off the bat and hope it falls in. He scores Brandon Ike and Nick Mitchell to tie the game. Now Del Vecchio comes in with Lipsy on third representing the go-ahead run and Earhart on first for John Gazdar.
And Del Vecchio coming into a very difficult situation with runners on the corner. And the hottest hitter in the Hyannis Harborhawks lineup coming up. Del Vecchio, last time he faced Hyannis, July 17th, gave up 3 runs in 2 innings. Or sorry, 6 runs in 2 innings, 3 of them earned though. 6 hits allowed. Hyannis looking for more of the same.
This could be the season right here. 2 runs in already. The first pitch to John. They try and get him in a rundown, and Lipsy's gonna score! Lipsy scores the go-ahead run. Earhart still in the rundown. They throw on to first and tag Earhart out. The inning is over, but Trey Lipsy scores the go-ahead run. Thanks to Zach Earhart getting into the rundown. 3 runs in the top of the 8th. The Cardiac Hawks are alive and well. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th here in Game 2 of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs presented by Duncan. Hyannis now leads 7-6.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Come on, Kitsu, hold it. We both need to hold it.
So to the bottom of the 8th we go, a brand new ball game, guys. 7-6 to Hyannis. They had runners on first and third with John Gazdar up. What does Zach Earhart do? But gets himself into a rundown, gets himself retired. 2-4-3-6-2. Catcher second, first, short, second in a rundown. That scores Trey Lipsy, who is the go-ahead run. They were down 6-2 at a point. They now lead 7-6 on a really smart play by the bench, by Zach Earhart, whoever took the initiative. Such a smart play to exploit the defense and allow Lipsy to hustle home. And that brings in Cade Obermueller to finish off, well, to start, and to hopefully finish off this bottom of the 8th.
And Cade Obermueller, the lefty from Iowa, has a 2.11 ERA this season, 17 innings pitched, 30 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 11 hits allowed. So he's going to be looking to have another shutdown game. Last time out was against Falmouth in that walk-off loss. He had 2 innings, no hits, 1 walk. So if he can have some of that similar magic here, Hyannis will be able to pick up a win, but still plenty of time to go with the 8-9-1 coming up to bat.
All kinds of different momentum. Go ahead, Nico.
No, I was just going to mention this is one of the guys, just as in Lanter, that we trust here in the back innings here, and that there's no surprise here that we're coming in with 6 outs remaining, putting Obermueller here, a guy, like we mentioned, short innings, fastball, slider guy, really hard fastball, coming in a little bit over 90 miles per hour.
The first pitch to Clemens is away. That's the beauty of baseball. It ain't over until really it is over. 6 outs to play with. that separates a Game 3 and the end of a season for Falmouth. As here's the 1-0 from Obermuller. Zips in for strike one, past Clemens.
Obermuller with that side arm, or that three-quarters look, a lot of arm side run coming out of that fastball. I love to watch him work in and out of the zone with it. Really tough for hitters to be able to pick up.
The 1-1 inside. Now 2-1 to Clemens.
And this will be a big first out here. With Falmouth crowd a little bit low right now, it'll be big for Obermuller to go first bat here and get an out.
And what did we talk about earlier? Subduing that crowd, getting our own crowd into it. As here's the 2-1 to Clemens. On the ground to first. Booted, but straight back into the glove of Brandon Ike. Yep, to quote Josh Schreiber, sometimes better to be lucky than good.
Yeah.
As that was a play, it bounced right up off of Ike's glove. Looked to be handcuffed, but straight back into the glove. And he steps on first to retire Clemens himself.
And from our angle, it looks like it just went off the glove and maybe scooted by him into right field. But no, it just went right next to him. Picked it up, stepped on first.
Here's your paradox right there. That's 95 miles an hour. That one ain't getting through today. As one away, lefty on lefty is Sean Darnell. Big wipeout slider to start him off. That's just nasty. Just dirt from Cade Obermuller.
I mean, lefty on lefty. That was just such a dirty pitch. Not much you can do there for Darnell.
Oh, nothing you can do. The 0-1 zips in, ran in on the lefty Darnell. Now 1-1, 92 miles an hour, lively 92 from Obi.
Absolute silence at the park.
A hush falls over Gov Fuller Field on the 1-1. Bends back in with the slider. Now 1-2.
You can see he's working that tunnel right now. The two-seam fastball running in on the hands, and then the slider that goes right over the plate kind of just freezes the hitter.
The 1-2 is just below the knees. And now 2-2 the count on Darnell. Obi sets and deals low. That's a good take. Now the count has run full on Sean Darnell. Obermuller was ahead, now he's behind. It's a full count coming to Darnell, the third baseman. Over 3 on the day. The payoff. Low and away with the slider. Tried that wipeout slider. You like the idea, but I think Darnell knew what was coming as he works a one-out walk.
Now you got the top of the order coming up and Gavin Turley, and then Travis Bazzana waiting on deck. Really need to get an out here.
Now while you like Obermuller in this situation, you're talking about his two-seam and his slider. He's a ground ball pitcher. So you want to get out of this inning and face Bazzana with as clean a base path as you can, and Obi gives you the best chance to do it. The first pitch to Turley is upstairs.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Josh, these are two really big hitters right here. This is a big chance for both Falmouth, but a great chance to shut the door, and even a better chance for the 9th inning if we can shut these two guys right here in Turley and Bazzana.
Right.
Darnell leads off first after his walk. The 1-0 just outside. Now 2-0 on Turley. 2 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 very soft doubles at that. And then in the subsequent at-bats, he struck out swinging twice. The pitch. Bends back in with the slider. Obermuller back in the count at 2-1.
That pitch just shows the confidence level that Obi's got right now. After walking a guy and throwing straight balls and then 2-0 and then backdoors that slider on 2-0. That just shows the confidence that Obi has in both of his pitches.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Turley now back 2-2. Bender's up with the tying run at third. It'll be a 2-2 to Turley. Obermuller sets, holds, and deals. The slider low again, trying to get cute with it. And you like the effort from him. He's putting them where they want him. Donay liking it. But now, a ball away from putting a runner in scoring position for the newly named MVP, Travis Bazzana.
Got to find that fastball here.
The payoff. Swing and a miss! Turley down swinging, a massive strikeout. And there are 2 away. Bazzana now up with just the runner on first.
Such a big-time pitch there, Josh. Just like you said, right before you pitch, he needs to find that fastball. And not only does he get a fastball in for a strike, but works a corner, works that low and in corner, just gets him in on the hands. That's a great pitch there by Obi in a big situation. And a huge out with Bazzana coming up to the plate.
Thinking that they might have brought him in for Bazzana as well. Lefty on lefty here, power versus power. As the first pitch low, Toney almost let that scoot by him. You can almost feel the tension on this at-bat specifically, as if there wasn't any before. A star pitcher in Obermueller, star hitter, star player, potential top 5 pick in Travis Bazzana at the plate.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get Bazzana out yet today, so we'll see if they can do it here.
Here is the 1-0 coming from Obermueller to the Aussie. That's low. He's a guy you got to pitch around as well. So 2-0 on Bazzana.
Yeah, those first pitches are so crucial because you don't want to fall behind on a guy like Bazzana. You know he's going to have a green light, and you can't just feed him one because he will make you pay.
The 2-0. There's a strike at the knees on Bazzana. 2-1 the count.
Bazzana very animated after that pitch. I don't think it was because he thought it was a ball. He just got frustrated.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to pull the trigger there and just didn't in time.
The 2-1 swing and a miss. Now 2-2 the count. And Bazzana gives a nod. He knows Obermueller got him on that one. He brings the count to 2-2.
We talk about tunneling. Right there was so big. Worked that fastball, blown away, backs it up with the slider.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the MVP, Bazzana. The 2-2 is low.
Just spiked that fastball that time.
Yeah, not much of a competitive pitch there. So the count is full. Dangerous pitch here because leaving one in and Bazzana getting a piece of it, Darnell could score from first while getting a head start. Here's the payoff from Obermueller. It's a soft fly ball, shallow center field, and that's a base hit. Mitchell over to cut it off, and that's Travis Bazzana just being Travis Bazzana right there. Just weak contact because he knows hard contact isn't going to do too much. Travis Bazzana with a professional at bat right there. And the speed of Darnell while getting a head start from first advances him to third, tying run now 90 feet away.
Just a beautiful piece of hitting by Bazzana. Going the other way on that pitch away as Luxus coming out for a mound meeting here with Obi.
Yeah, going to bring in the whole infield here. But like you said, Bazzana, I mean, that's just professional hitting, understanding the count, understanding what Obermueller's trying to do there. Stays on that slider, which is so tough with a slider like Obermueller has, lefty on lefty. Just pokes that ball away, stays in his legs, hits that ball away, gets the single, now runs on first and third. That is just a very, very great at-bat, another great at-bat by Bazzana.
So that brings up Walker Hyannis, guys, who 1 for 3 on the day, does have an RBI and a walk. 2 strikeouts as well.
And I wonder if some of this meeting is to prevent what just happened to Falmouth to
Yes.
them. Runners on
Yes.
first and third again. Wouldn't be surprised with the speed of Bazzana especially to try to do something crazy here. If it was my guess, I'm going to assume they're going to be in some kind of a play 3 defense, which is they only care about the run on third. This guy can trip, fall, do whatever he wants on first base. They're not going to worry about it. They're going to worry about the hitter at the plate.
Yeah, it seems like what could have happened, what should have happened for Falmouth was that they should have just let Earhart scoot on his merry way. If Bazzana takes off, that's probably what they'll do. He doesn't take off here, and Walker Hyannis breaks his wrist on the first pitch. Quickly 0-1.
You want to get Hyannis here with McGregor up next. Has been so good for Falmouth as of late.
The 0-1 to Hyannis. Swing and a miss. He checked his swing. It's a strike anyway. And it's 0-2, a strike away from getting out of it is Obermuller. Has any pitch he wants at his disposal here in the 0-2 count to Yannick.
Darnell only 90 feet away, 0-2 count. Got to be careful here with the slider. We trust Donay back there, but he's got to be good here if they decide to break it off into the dirt.
The 0-2 as Bazana goes, it's fouled away. That's best case scenario there for Hyannis. That keeps Bazana over at first, and we'll do it again.
And Cade not paying attention whatsoever to Bazana over at the first. Bazana got such a big jump there, and really no care in the world from Obermuller. Got to get this hitter.
Yeah, no movement from the middle infield to even think about covering the bag. They're going to play their defensive spots here, make the play at first base.
0-2, 2 out, 2 on. Obermuller deals, fouled away again.
Now, if I'm Falmouth, I'm sending Bazana no matter what. I mean, Hyannis has shown you that they are not going to try to get him out, and that moves the go-ahead runner into scoring position. So not sure why he didn't run that time.
Also would take a force away from second base on a ground ball anywhere in the infield.
Here's the 0-2 upstairs, and that'll allow Bazana to go to second. Now that's dangerous because anything to the outfield gives Falmouth the lead back now. So Obermuller has to execute here. 1-2, 2 outs. Darnell off third, Bazana off second. The 1-2 to Yannick. Upstairs now 2-2. There's a professional at bat here from Yannick, and he knows that he's got to be.
Yeah, that one just a little bit outside, and as we can see on our track man right in front of us. Good spot, though.
Yeah, it's a good idea, and especially with his arm side run, that probably did start on the outer half of the plate before breaking off.
The 2-2 is on the ground and foul outside of third.
Another great at-bat here in front of us. 2-strike hitting. It's been so huge by both teams, and a great fighting off a pitch, just spoiling Obermuller's fastball there.
8th pitch of the at-bat here, Michael.
He's got a ball to work with as well, does Yannick. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. The pitch from Obermuller is on the ground to second. Snowfields throws, got him! Inning over. Obi, he has the force. He gets out of a 2-out jam and keeps Hyannis in this game. We go to the top of the 9th with Hyannis leading 7-6. Last chance after this to get some insurance runs here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. What a game.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why'd he sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
We go to the top of the 9th inning. John Gazdar will lead things off. A huge effort out of Cade Obermuller, letting up a walk and a single with runners on second and third. After a really great at bat from Walker Yannick, gets him to ground out softly to second.
Hey, I mean, this game was supposed to be potentially, basically, I guess, the championship, with air quotes, of the playoffs. 2 of the hottest teams going into the playoffs. First game was not exactly a thriller. This one is living up to the hype.
Whew. Taking a deep breath here.
Exhale.
I mean, we can exhale a little bit. This game has been unbelievable. What a gut performance there by Obermuller. Not having his best stuff, not being able to locate as purposely always does, but to be able to dig deep there and find a way to get those outs.
And now, while we've got our eye here, we've got another eye maybe looking in the peripherals to the other game going on. Katuitt and Bourne have gone into extra innings. They are in the top of the 10th tied at 4. Katuitt had a 4-0 lead, and Bourne going into the bottom of the 5th gets 1 run, and they tie the game in the bottom of the 9th. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd and 2 men out, and they could not bring the winning run home. They are now in extras in the top of the 10th. But back here at Gov Fuller Field, John Gazdar starts us off with taking a strike. I mean, you want to talk about John Gazdar, what he has done for the team as he takes the 0-1 outside. I mean, these last two games in the playoffs, tonight and yesterday, and the last 9-10 games as he takes the pitch low, I think it could maybe be because of the game, but right now I don't have any words to describe how important John has been for this team. As it's on the ground between the 5 and the 6, as Darnell ranges over to put out Gazdar for a quick first out.
This will be a big 0 here for Falmouth. They can hold the Harbor Hawks here, understanding that how close they were to scrapping 1 run there. The difference between 1 run and 2 run is ginormous. This is going to be huge for Falmouth to try to shut the door here, keep it at 7-6.
The first pitch to Smith in there for strike 1. Cody Del Vecchio is a new pitcher. He didn't throw a pitch last inning. He had the runners on the corners.
Threw 1 pitch.
He threw 1 pitch, right.
Technically, it didn't end up counting, though,
Correct.
in that
Correct.
bat.
And it will not go down on the log, as it's now 1-1 on Smith. Earhart took off from second as soon as he could to allow Lipsy to score the go-ahead run. The 1-1 to Smith is upstairs. Hyannis has a 7-6 lead from Gov Fuller Field. Michael Kirsting, Nico Sharp, Josh Schreiber. I don't know whose hearts are beating harder, us or anybody else here at the field, or you watching at home with us, as there's a hard line drive to center. That's sat up enough for Humphreys to put it away for out number 2.
Man, you can't make up how many hard hit balls have been caught and how many softly hit balls have fallen and found grass. I mean, for both teams now at this point, it's just been insane.
I'll say it again. That's baseball, Susan.
It's not my name.
It's not your name. I'm just alluding. I like that one, though. As York fouls the first pitch behind the screen and out of play.
A little delayed laughter there.
Yeah. Two locked in. Some fireworks off in the right field. Way out in right field. Been fireworks all day long here at Gov Fuller Field as well, as York swings and misses. He's quickly behind 0-2. Del Vecchio winds and deals low in the dirt. With York up at the plate. Reached on an E6 in the 3rd. And that's about all he's got. He's 0 for 3 on the day otherwise. The 1-2. Low again. Now 2-2 on the Grand Canyon first baseman. Here's the 2-2 from Del Vecchio. It's low again, and York, I feel like that's something he does a lot, is work himself back into counts. Such a professional eye in that left-handed batter's box.
And we've been seeing that all day from both teams.
3-2 foul back.
We have seen so many professional-styled ABs here, going down 0-2, going down 1-2, and working their ways back into counts, working a base hit, working a walk even after going down 0-2. We've been seeing it all day, and York showing that off once again.
Here's the payoff to Zach York. He fouls it off, third base side, and it'll make the seats. And we'll do it again. Cowbells aplenty. Cardiac checks aplenty. Runs aplenty here from Gov Fuller Field. 7-6 Hyannis leads, having trailed all the way home in this whole game from the 5th on, as York fouls another one off. Falmouth have scored a run in each of the first 5 innings, 2 in the first and then 1 in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They have not scored since.
It's a great fight-off pitch, 94 miles per hour up in the zone. Great fight-off pitch by York.
The payoff, froze him. York down looking. That's a big strikeout. for Cody Del Vecchio as York goes down looking. Well, the stage is set, folks. We are going to the bottom of the ninth. Hyannis with a 1-run lead, 3 outs away from their second Western Divisional Final in as many years. It will be Cade Obermueller to start us off right after this.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Shipping up to Boston, cranks through Gov Fuller Field as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Jacob Irons is pumped. I'm pumped. 3 more outs for Hyannis to secure their spot in the Western Division Final. You just said something, Nico. I might have caught you by surprise with how correct I thought you were with it. So big in this situation, almost a blessing in disguise it was last inning. Bazana's gone. Yannick's gone. He's got McGregor, Walsh, and Heyman to face. I don't think, at least I wouldn't want to be facing Bazana here in this bottom of the ninth. So that's almost a blessing in disguise for Obi.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't be able to get him out.
For sure, getting past Turley, Bazana, Yannick. You know, McGregor is their 4-hole who has been seeing the ball well, but just to get past those guys and have nobody on for McGregor, definitely a better spot here for the Harbor Hawks with Obermueller back on the mound and a lefty-lefty matchup in here in front of us.
Hyannis are 3 outs away. The first one being in the form of McGregor. The first pitch in at the letters for strike 1 as a hush will fall over Gov Fuller Field with every pitch coming from here on forward. Obermueller has an 0-1 worked on McGregor. McGregor, Walsh, and Heyman 4-5-6 in the Falmouth order. 0-1 swing and a miss. Donay squeezes the tip and he's quickly ahead 0-2.
Only a 2-pitch arsenal does Obermueller have, but the way he works his slider and fastball off each other is so good, and it really gives hitters trouble.
It'll be an 0-2 to McGregor. Obermueller sets and deals. Swing and a miss. There's one. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good night, Tyler McGregor. He set down on 3 pitches.
That first inning of work for Obermueller, he struggled to find that fastball a little bit. That time throwing 2 fastballs on the outside part of the plate, and here comes Eric Beatty. Nico, you called it.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to go to the bullpen.
And I don't think Obermueller's too happy about it, but he gets a firm handshake and a hug for the work that he's done from Eric Beatty. We'll tell you who comes on to close out the game for Hyannis after this.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-it-all, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Bring the crowd mic over here. Huh?
Back for the bottom of the 9th inning, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, and J.B. Middleton on to pitch for Hyannis. 3.24 ERA in 6 appearances, 8 1/3 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, and 5 walks. But his last time out was here at Falmouth. 2 earned runs, 2 runs total. Only 1 hit, though, but did struggle with his command. 3 walks, came into that game with only 1 walk on the season. So hopefully he can have a bounce-back performance here. Just needs 2 outs.
You know, and I had a feeling, we were actually talking about this right before it happened. I had a feeling that they're going to bring Obermuehl. I threw a lot of pitches right there, Obermuehl, in that first inning, so I wasn't surprised that they went to the lefty there. Lefty against McGregor. Looked great. They got the great first out here, then went to Middleton. And Middleton's been one of our closing guys. Another, that's back-to-back-to-back guys we use in very stressful situations, and they've done so well keeping us in this game.
So up steps Walsh. It seemed like McGregor was going to be Obermueller's final batter no matter what, and he was, as now Walsh and Heyman are both righties. So getting these final 2 outs with the righty on the hill is how the coaching staff wants to go, probably predetermined, as the first pitch swung on and missed. 93, as J.B. Middleton, we talked about how he wasn't himself in the last time he faced Falmouth. That's more like it on the first pitch. The 0-1. Is tapped weakly up the third baseline, but kicks foul. Now quickly 0-2 on Walsh.
Yeah, I was making this motion here because I want Cam Smith flick that foul. I'm tired of all this soft contact becoming a base hit. So now big pitch here to Barry Walsh.
He's ahead 0-2 is Middleton. He winds and deals. Upstairs, boy. The upstairs fastball they've been eating all day. That's a really good swing from Walsh to foul it off.
I'm not sure how Walsh got his hands
you're
on top of that
reading my
baseball.
mind here, Nico.
93 up in the zone after a slider.
0-2 is low in the dirt. Now 1-2.
Yeah, great. And then right there, JB buries one after going high fastball. Buries that one. A great take by Walsh to make the count 1-2.
I'd like to see them freeze him on the outside part of the plate here after that slider.
The 1-2 from Middleton. Inside with the fastball. Touching and sitting 93 as he works back to 2-2 does Barry Walsh, who is 1 for 3 on the day. Or 1 for 4 on the day, I beg your pardon, with a double and scored a run. The 2-2 is weakly chopped to third, broken bat. Smith backhands, fields and throws. Not in time. The throw was high and it pushed Ike off the bag. A broken bat infield single. And that allows Walsh to reach. He represents the tying run with Luke Heyman stepping up.
I can't believe it. Another weakly hit ball that ends up being a base hit, but still 1 out. Luke Heyman up to the plate. You're still okay if you're Hyannis. Just got to make your pitches.
Yeah, absolutely nothing that Middleton can do about that one.
Absolutely. I mean, he's feeling it right now. He hit 95 right there on the gun. Put that fastball right in the hands right where you want it. Cut the broken bat.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. That's juice again. How about 95 once more? 92, to Luke Heyman. 0-1. My mind's scrambled, guys. My mind's just scrambled. Here's the 0-1 to Heyman. Went low and it gets underneath Donay. That takes the double play out of order and moves the tying run into scoring position.
And that is a huge ball that gets through the wickets of Brody Donay. That's huge for Falmouth. Now that tying run is 90 feet closer. Now in scoring position at second base here with 1 out.
Falmouth are 2 outs away from their season ending. They're also 180 feet from keeping it alive for the moment. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Hyannis leads 7-6. Pitches upstairs, now 2-1, and Donay is going to go have a talk with Middleton.
Yeah, 94 right there. My guess is Donay just trying to tell him, you don't have to throw 100 miles an hour here to get him out. Trust your stuff, throw some strikes, and let your defense do the rest.
Yeah, I'm looking here at the outfield position now, because now the big thing is that the outfield, they must be in a spot where you can throw somebody out, the ball gets down in front of you. So that's going to be huge to see what kind of adjustments they made. Looks like Cam Smith will be playing no depth. John is pushed back in deep shortstop with Eric Snow pull at second base.
Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on Heyman. That's a confident pitch right there. Listen to your catcher for that. Now 2-2 on Heyman with Humphreys due up next. The runner on second is Walsh. He represents the tying run. 2-2 just fouled off into the screen by Heyman, and he stays alive. Heart-stopping moments from Gov Fuller Field here in the first round of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs presented by Duncan. The 2-2 from Middleton. There goes the runner. It's lined off the glove of Cam Smith. This allows the tying run to score. A game of inches is baseball. Cam Smith cannot snow cone it. If he snow cones that, he throws on to second and the ball game is over. But instead, it gets out of his glove and the tying run scores.
Now, if you're Middleton, you've still got to make your pitches. This game not over in the slightest. Obviously, still a tie game, still got the bottom of the order coming up, but these guys have shown that they can have incredible at-bats.
Take a guess as to that exit velo. That's 70 miles an hour right there off the bat once again. And Tab Tracy now into pinch run for Luke Heyman, who has just tied the game here in the bottom of the ninth. 7-all from Gov Fuller Field. Tracy represents the winning run on first. Pitch to Humphreys up the middle. Gazdar flips for one, and that's all they'll get. So Tracy, the speedy Tab Tracy, is out at second, and Humphreys reaches on the fielder's choice.
And they've still got speed on first with Humphreys. He is their center fielder, but this is important here. The bottom of the order coming up. You want to get them out before the top of the order can hurt you.
The pitch to Clemens. Swing and a miss. Dirty off speed. As Clemens now ahead or behind 0-1.
Yeah, that's that hard-breaking slider there. Great job by Donay to chest up that one, hold the runner Humphreys at first base.
The 0-1. Now swung on and missed again. Now 0-2. A strike away from sending this game to extras is Middleton.
Looked like a changeup that time from Middleton on the outside part of the plate.
Long set from Middleton in the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He sets down Clemens swinging, but the game is tied. Free baseball from Gov Fuller Field. We go to the 10th inning, tie at 7.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about. Tell Mama.
As Narco blasts out, I mean, it encapsulates the mood of this game. Just absolute heat, tension, all throughout here from Gov Fuller Field. The two best teams coming in to the playoffs have squared off. Hyannis dominant against Falmouth yesterday, but what a game it's been here tonight as we head to the top of the 10th.
Such a big moment here, and the game's going to continue here. And something to note here for the viewers, there will not be a runner on second base. Now that we've entered playoffs, there is no ghost runner on second rule. The last batted out will not go to second base. We will play straight up, just like normal in collegiate ball and in the pros.
That will start with Brandon Ike. As we enter free baseball here from Gov Fuller Field. Eric Beatty talking to the umpiring crew about something, and it's about the international tiebreak. They were just making sure that there was no runner on second.
I guess as the coaches here, it's a kind of a new rule, so why would they necessarily know?
Yep, just clarification. Ike, Mitchell, and Snow, 5, 6, and 7 in the Hyannis order against Cody Del Vecchio. Misses outside with the first pitch, does Del Vecchio.
Ike 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored.
Upstairs, 2-0 to the VCU first baseman. Quickly into the stretch and deals. There's a strike to Ike. Now 2-1 the count.
Yeah, puts that fastball right on the hands of Ike after putting a slider up high and tight on him. Runs that fastball right behind it.
2-1 into the screen. He's quickly back and level with the count, 2-2. The 2-2 to Ike. Just outside. Looked like Heyman behind the plate was ready to throw down to first, but instead he has one more as the count's full. As here is the payoff coming from Cody Del Vecchio. It's outside, and Ike works a leadoff walk.
There is someone throwing in the Falmouth bullpen. Nick Mitchell coming up to bat here. Doesn't look like they're ready yet, though. Still not quite throwing off the rubber.
Nick Mitchell 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored on the day. The leadoff man on in Brandon Ike. Hyannis fans are energized. Bunt from Smith is popped up and caught by Heyman. Oh, no, beg your pardon, Walker Yannick still behind the plate. So a very unsuccessful sacrifice attempt from Mitchell as he pops up on the first pitch.
And not a big fan of that call right there, obviously in hindsight, but I don't know. I'm trusting Nick Mitchell with the bat.
Yeah, I guess the thought process there must have been Nick Mitchell, one of the faster guys on the team, put pressure on him with a sac bunt, not only gets him to second base, but has a great chance to leg it out.
Pitch outside to Snow, who is 1 for 3 with a double, RBI double in the second, and a sacrifice bunt in the 8th. 1-0, hack and a miss at the fastball. 1-1 the count on the USF man.
Eric Snow loves to go to the opposite field. Been saying it all day, but Falmouth leaving a lot of space on that right side right now.
Pitch fouled away. Now 1-2 on Snow. With Donay awaiting on deck. Runner on first is Ike. We're in the 10th from Gov Fuller Field, tied at 7 here in game 2. The pitch low. Now 2-2 the count on Eric Snow. Del Vecchio sets and deals. Fouled into the screen, making Del Vecchio work as Snow stays alive.
That's what you got to do. Keep the pressure on the pitcher in this situation. He's the one that's got to come to you.
Yeah, puts that fastball low in the zone. Great fight pitch to try to get himself a hitter's pitch here.
Another 2-2 to Snow. Outside, and he's worked the count full.
Another great take. Saw that slider in all the way. He saw it early too. You see a lot of guys check swing on those hard breaking sliders. He saw that pitch all the way. Worked the count here to full at 3-2.
Big pitch from Del Vecchio, the payoff. Upstairs, ball 4, and that puts the go-ahead run into scoring position for Brody Donay. That's a big league at bat from Eric Snow to work a walk, and that brings up Brody Donay with 2 on and 1 out.
Yeah, and home plate umpire Budka hearing it a little bit from the Falmouth dugout, who They had one of their coaches get ejected yesterday in the loss, but not too much argument, just kind of saying, where was that pitch?
First and second, 2 men on. Pitch to Donay, first one's fouled away.
First pitch was a breaker to Donay. Donay just missed it. Big, healthy hack. Just missed it a little late.
0-1 to Donay. Outside. Good take on the fastball. 1-1 the count.
Donay with maybe his biggest at-bat so far as a Harbor Hawk.
Here's the 1-1. That could have been the pitch right there, as it was middle in on Donay, and he fouls it back to the screen, 1-2. Runners are on first and second. Ike off second, Snow off first, with 1 man out here in the top of the 10th for Brody Donay. Trey Lipsy awaits on deck.
Just shorten up the swing here.
1-2 to Donay. Upstairs.
94 that time. Delvecchio turning up the gun.
The Hyannis contingent have been on their feet since the 8th inning. The 2-2. Outside, 3-2. That is a big lead take from Brody Donay. Borderline pitch that just misses outside.
That is back-to-back really tough takes there by Donay to make the count all full at 3-2 here. Let's take an eye on the runners here.
The payoff. He missed it. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 1 man out as he missed outside. What an at-bat from Brody Donay. And the man who is the hero back in the 8th inning in Trey Lipsy, who tied the game, is now up with the chance to give them the lead. And I don't think they want Delvecchio facing Trey Lipsy.
Yeah, we'll see. No call to the bullpen yet. No, I think this might just be a conversation, Michael, because I mean, the guy in the bullpen looks kind of ready. I mean, but he is still throwing, and he hasn't been throwing for that long.
Manager Jeff Trundy taking a long time here, maybe buying some time to allow his pitcher to warm up.
Yeah, probably giving us time for a bullpen guy to give an extra few pitches in here, but also talking about defensive structure here. I would assume they're going to try to play double play up the middle, corners probably even.
And this is Trey Lipsy, the hero of the 8th inning. That bloop single that ended up taking the lead for Hyannis.
He tied the game with a bloop 2-run single in the 8th, and he scored the go-ahead run a little later while Earhart got himself into a rundown.
And so maybe with the speed of Lipsy, they're going to bring all the infielders in on the grass.
The first pitch to Trey, fouled into the screen.
Nice job pulling the hands in there by Trey Lipsy. That one way inside, probably off the plate.
The bases are loaded in a tie game here in Game 2 of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs presented by Duncan. The pitch to Lipsy, inside, 1-1.
Hey, the all-time leader in hit by pitches in the Cape League almost
Imagine.
wore that one. It would score the go-ahead run.
And with the bases juice here, Delvecchio is back in his windup where he is comfortable.
The 1-1 to Lipsy. Soft fly ball into short left. Turley dives and can't make the play. Ike will score. Here comes Snow. He will score. The throw comes into third. He is safe. It's a 2-run double for Trey Lipsy. He's tied it in the 8th. He gives them the lead here in the 10th. What a performance from Trey Lipsy in the clutch.
Mayhem from the fan base right next to us, all the interns, all the Hyannis fans over by the bleachers, jumping up and down. And there you hear those cheers. Hey, and guys, second and third, one out. Still plenty of time, top of the order, and Zach Earhart up now.
The Hawks have taken a 9-7 lead here in the top of the 10th. That's fouled away by Earhart. Hey, I gotta say one thing if writer Mike Maynard is listening. More cowbell. It'll be an 0-1 to Earhart as he gets signs from Eric Beatty down the third base line. Here's the 0-1. He squares to bunt. And there's the suicide squeeze, but it was fouled into the screen, 0-2.
I love that call. Earhart, really good handsy bunter. And you have Donay at third base, solid speed, but he's working out of the windup. And it's a very slow windup. Over the head action, easy. If he drops that down, that runner's scoring, no question.
Runners on second and third. The 0-2 to Earhart is upstairs. Woo!
That's another tough take. High fastball just above the zone. Earhart not letting his eyes deceive him there. Great take.
The 1-2 to Earhart. Down low, he works himself back into the count, even at 2.
Zach Earhart has had an unbelievable game today with his takes. I don't believe that he was able to take that pitch. That was a nasty slider.
The 2-2 to Earhart is low. He works himself back to a full count. Professional at bats yet again, but this one to an extreme.
Yeah, really big moment here, but DeVecchio's got to be very careful. There is a base open at first base, but John Gazdar does stand in the on-deck circle. Really big pitch here.
Here's the payoff to Earhart. It's low! What an at-bat! What an at-bat from Zach Earhart. That might be the best of the day. He loads the bases with one out again, and John Gazdar, with a little bit of swagger in his strut, walks up to home plate with the bases loaded. That's going to do it for Cody Delvecchio. They don't want to face John Gazdar in this situation. I don't think anybody does. Cody Delvecchio surrenders the lead back to Hyannis as he leaves the bases loaded. 2 runs in here in the top of the 10th. We will come back, tell you about Falmouth's new pitcher after this. Hyannis leads 9-7.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.